Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd. Today is Thursday, January 9th, 2025. And as you see from my shirt, BYOG says, bring your own God. So make sure you do that. All right. As you see from the title, as we all want to know, what's up in Venezuela? What the hell's going on over there? As much as we can say, what the hell's going on over here in our own country? All the insanity going on. I don't know how you guys feel about the whole, what they're calling it, the Palisades flyer, or hell actually burning down to the ground. Do you think that could be they're hiding evidence or destroying evidence? Who the hell knows what the hell's going on over there? But, it's really sad when people lose everything, because I've been there. I know what it feels like to lose the photo album, the family photo album that your mom put together. That documents your entire life, from that nude newborn in the middle of the couch or something, all the way, and all the embarrassing pictures when you were growing up, gone. Last memories of your relatives, gone. Priceless sentimental artifacts, gone. Your everyday means of transportation, gone. Your wardrobe, gone. So you have to completely start with clothes on your back. And I've been there. And I feel for those folks out there in California who are going through such a tumultuous time, geographically as well as personally. It'll be interesting to see which celebrities have lost that residence, that piece of property, and who will stay and rebuild, or who will just flee the country. It's going to be something fun to watch. One of my favorite topics, because people they love to pound this in my head, and I don't know why, that Trump is the commander in chief, and that for the past, 4 years, ever since Trump left office, that we're having these military tribunals, and that we're having adjudication, sentencing, incarcerations, and even executions. But everybody keeps stating that all these celebrities, politicians, if they haven't been executed, they're in Guantanamo Bay. Well, let's go look at something. I'm going to show you all a little something. Now, this is mainstream media news. Okay, this is NBC Montana. No big deal. I just picked a headline and clicked on it. That's all I did. So, Guantanamo Bay detainee count drops to 15 after 11 more transferred out. So that meant they had a total of 26 incarcerated individuals in Guantanamo Bay. 26. So, the 15, who are the 15 that are there? Is that Britney Spears, Dwayne Rock Johnson, Jeffrey Epstein, Hillary Clinton. So let's just take a little listen to this thing.
Tonight, the number of detainees at Guantanamo has been cut almost in half after a deal the Biden administration made with the country of Oman to take nearly a dozen. They're being transferred out in recent weeks. National correspondent Chris Brazow.
The notorious Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, now down to just 15 detainees after 11 were just transferred out and sent to Oman, a longtime U.S. ally in the Middle East. The Department of Defense announcing in a statement, career professionals unanimously determined all detainees to be transfer eligible, consistent with the national security interests of the United States. They were captured in the aftermath of the 9/11 terror attacks and include Moath Hamza Ahmed al-Alwi, in 2016 said to still have an extremist mindset, who served as part of Osama bin Laden's security detail, and Suhail Abdul Anam al-Sharabi, whose father served as a bin Laden bodyguard and may have been associated with an aborted 9/11-style hijacking plot in Southwest Asia as a member of al-Qaeda. But none were tried or even charged. They have been approved for transfer for years. President Biden deciding now was the right time. A move now being met with criticism.
It's like President Biden is trying to compete with himself for how many disastrous policies he can leave on President Trump's doorstep on January 20th. Every time we do one of these, we make Americans less safe.
President Barack Obama making this promise on his first week in office in 2009.
Guantanamo will be closed no later than 1 year from now.
But Guantanamo Bay remains open to this day, with an annual operating cost of about $500 million. The Wall Street Journal is reporting one more detainee could also be on his way out, revealing the Biden administration is in talks with the Taliban to trade a top Osama bin Laden associate being held at Guantanamo Bay for 3 Americans being held in Afghanistan. I'm Kristen Rizal reporting.
Okay, you tell me, because this is one thing I know for a frickin' fact. Okay, there's no jail, no prison anywhere in any jurisdiction in the United States of America that does not have an accurate count of how many offenders, inmates, whatever you want to classify them as, in custody in that facility. You know why? Because they count those offenders multiple times a day. Why? Inventory. They're not counting to see how many are missing. If any have escaped, they're doing inventory. They're auditing the books. Absolutely. So when I hear all these people tell me that, hey, Guantanamo Bay, Guantanamo Bay, Guantanamo Bay, Guantanamo Bay, I just, I understand there might be some top secret classified things, but I mean, how top secret and classified can you get in the most wanted criminals after September 11th, 2001? Then terrorists who allegedly brought down 3 buildings in New York City. And of course, Joe Biden just cut some loose, of course. He will definitely go down in world history as the worst politician, the most corrupt, worst president in U.S. history. Did more damage to the United States because remember the motto of the Democratic platform for presidential candidate in 2020, 2019. What was it? We're going to build back better. And they did the exact opposite. So there's a term in politics. You get what you vote for. Your vote does matter. And because all you bozo, the clowns in California, continue to not only publicly support, but financially support these idiotic Democrats who clearly have a satanic evil bent towards their governance of your jurisdictions out in California. You got what you paid for. If you're pissed off about losing your home and your fire insurance was canceled several months ago by one of the various insurance agencies because of your government, you get what you pay for, you get what you vote for. So next time you get offered a substantial amount of money to go and endorse some idiotic clown running for some elected office, we won't mention any names like Kamala Harris, you get what you pay for. We have said over and over and over, and I continue to say it, this is it's a war between good and evil. It's not a battle. This is a war between good and evil. The heart and soul of the United States of America and the good patriotic people in the United States of America. That's what this is all about. All right. I know y'all ready to want to know what the hell I got about the Venezuelan Bolivar, right? Y'all want a number, something? Well, I don't have a number, but I do have some news. For those of you who have not been following anything in Venezuela, Venezuela has, if not the largest, but one of the largest proven oil reserves reservoir in the world. They're Mac Daddy. Okay. And this is known. There could be some reservoirs somewhere else that, they're keeping that under the down low and it's not public knowledge, but publicly it's Venezuela. Venezuela has been under socialist rule for quite some time now. And that goes back to the leader before Maduro. And I used to follow Venezuela way back in the early 2000s because I read an article that a gallon of gas in Venezuela was a nickel, 5 cents a gallon. I was like, wow, why isn't it 5 cents here? How does that even work? So over time, through this socialist administration in Venezuela, they've run the country into the ground, even though it's one of the richest in oil reserves. If you don't tell them what they got in natural gas, gold, silver, other natural resources. So back last year, about 5 months ago, they had an election. Well, the woman who was running against the incumbent, Maduro, she had to bow out. And they got this other guy at the last minute named González. And I'll go through all this with you. I'm just giving you the little peanut gallery opening so you kind of understand what the hell's going on when you watch these videos I'm going to show you. So I threw him in at the last minute. And it depends on which side of the fence you're on. Gonzalez's side says they won in a landslide, just smashed Maduro, which I would expect they would, simply because, hey, they need something different besides a hyperinflated currency, a horrible economy, everything like that. Then on Maduro's side, they're saying that they won. And recently put out a bounty on González, the opposition. So González, he had to flee the country. So basically, he's in hiding. Tomorrow, a lot is happening tomorrow because Maduro is supposed to be sworn back in as president for his second term. And I believe it's 5 or 6 years in Venezuela. People are already protesting. So let's dive into what that looks like. Because the determination of the outcome in Venezuela is going to have a lot to do with the availability to turn their economy around. Okay. When you see these videos, you'll get it. You'll be like, oh, okay, I got it, Floyd. And start.
The disputed results of the country's.
Start that over for you guys.
Now to Venezuela, where anger over the disputed results of the country's presidential election is growing. Violent protests erupted in the streets of Caracas yesterday, and at least 11 people are reported dead. Demonstrators are demanding authoritarian ruler Nicolás Maduro accept defeat. He is claiming victory, but his opponents say they have evidence showing they won the election. President Biden and other world leaders are calling on the government to release the voting data from Sunday's election.
All right, 11 people dead so far. All right, and I'm going to get into more of this.
Ser leal.
Tensions continue to rise in Venezuela ahead of Friday, when the next presidential term is set to begin. That afternoon, the ruling party-controlled National Assembly plans to swear in President Nicolás Maduro for a third six-year term. But serious doubts remain about the validity of last year's official election results, as Edmundo González, who represented the main opposition coalition, claims to have won the July vote. The controversy of the results began when electoral authorities, loyal to President Maduro, declared him the winner without showing detailed vote counts. The reasoning was a cyber attack. The opposition, led by Maria Corina Machado and González, rejected those results and said they posted evidence online showing that González had defeated Maduro with twice as many votes. González, who has the support of the US and several other governments, has been in exile for months, but he has vowed to return to Venezuela by Friday to take the oath of office. That comes despite repeated threats of arrest. Meanwhile, Machado is urging supporters to protest Thursday in an effort to push Maduro out of office, but they could choose to stay home due to an increased military presence in the capital and elsewhere. Ahead of Friday, Maduro is also rallying his base with various events and has asked supporters to join him for his swearing-in ceremony.
All right, and we're not done. There we go.
Venezuela's embattled opposition is vowed to overcome fear and to thwart President Nicolás Maduro's plans to be sworn in for yet another term. The defiant leaders are renewing calls for mass protests and visiting the White House to rallying international support. Nicolás Maduro is also to be sworn in for his third term on Friday, but the opposition candidate Edmundo González claims to have won the election in a landslide. Now, González visited the White House in an effort to try and pressurize Maduro to cede power. He said that he had a fruitful meeting with the president who is on his way out, Joe Biden, and is in contact with the president-elect Donald Trump.
Our team is in contact with President Trump's teams for some time now. We will continue on the same path because our relations will also be very close and beneficial for the relationship between Venezuela and the United States.
In their meeting, Biden and González agreed that his campaign victory should be honored through a peaceful transfer back to the democratic rule. But there was also a warning from Washington that Biden would be very closely following the government's response to the protests that are planned on the eve of Maduro's inauguration. The White House said that Venezuelans should be allowed to express their political opinions peacefully without fear of reprisal from the military and the police. Now, Venezuela's government has labeled the American support for the opposition as grotesque and has slammed Joe Biden for backing a violent project to topple the government in Venezuela. Now, Venezuela has also severed its diplomatic ties with Paraguay for expressing similar support for the opposition. The opposition leaders have accused Maduro of lacking legitimacy. Now, Maria Corina Machado has said that all the regime has left is fear, adding that the whole world knows that the rightful president-elect is González Urrutia.
The future of democracy in the Americas is being defined on Venezuelan territory in these hours. This is how crucial what is happening is. We all know who the president-elect is. Everyone knows it. The Venezuelans know it. The armed forces know it. Maduro knows it. The whole world knows it.
Getting good. Still got at least one more. Yep. I think two more, but definitely. Yep, this one. Let me hit the closed caption for you guys.
A regional tour to raise international support ahead of Inauguration Day in Venezuela on January the 10th. Opposition leader Edmundo González Urrutia landed in Buenos Aires to meet Argentine President Javier Milei and to be greeted by thousands of Venezuelans living in the country. Maria Sarcos is one of them. She left Venezuela because of its economic crisis.
Feliz, emocionada. I am very happy because even though we were not allowed to vote, Edmundo represents freedom for us, the end of a dictatorship.
Nicolás Maduro is due to be sworn in once again in less than a week for another 5-year term. The 75-year-old former diplomat Urrutia and the opposition say he was the real winner of the presidential elections in July. The government has failed to make the tally results public.
Today, I feel geographically and emotionally closer to fulfilling the mandate that Venezuelans gave us in the elections last July.
Urrutia was forced to flee Venezuela in September. On Friday, the Venezuelan government put a $100,000 reward for information leading to his capture and displayed in La Guaira airport signs offering the reward. Urrutia's visit also comes as tensions are running high between Argentina and Venezuela over the detention of a member of the Argentine security forces who is being held in a prison outside Caracas.
All eyes are on what will happen on January 10th, on the inauguration of President Nicolás Maduro for a third term in office. The opposition is calling for protests to denounce what they say was a fraudulent election. People here say they will do the same.
Nearly 180,000 Venezuelans live in Argentina. Most say they're desperate for change in their country. But Edmundo González Urrutia faces the challenge of having to consolidate international support. The international community is being cautious about supporting a parallel government after its experience with Juan Guaidó in 2019, who won popular support but failed to take power in Venezuela. For now, the only hope these people have is Edmundo González Urrutia. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.
I always like to give credit where credit's due. So thank you for everybody producing these videos. Let me get down to the last one in this series. And this is South Florida. They are talking about in Doral, Florida.
In 24 hours, dozens of Venezuelans in South Florida are expected to rally in Doral. Their message, to show support for opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. She is calling for protests against the Venezuelan regime in Caracas. CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor is live in Doral with reaction tonight. Yvonne?
And Lauren, that rally is going to be held here because this city is considered one of the areas with the largest concentration of Venezuelans in the nation. And for that reason, they expect hundreds to attend.
We ask to the world for solidarity right now.
Luis González is a Venezuelan exile living in South Florida for the last 8 years. He is referring to this event in downtown Doral.
Doral is like the heart of the immigration in the United States.
He and hundreds of Venezuelans are responding to the message of opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, who was seen at mass protests next to Edmundo González, the opposition candidate who ran for office against Nicolás Maduro last year. On Monday, President Joe Biden met with González and recognized him as the winner of the elections. But Maduro says he is the one who will be sworn in for 6 more years on Friday, January 10th. Choose your colors from our national flag and wear it, said Corina Machado to Venezuelans in the South American nation through social media. Thursday activity is called a peaceful mobilization against Maduro's decision to stay in power regardless. On Tuesday, the current president claimed that his government security forces captured foreign mercenaries, including 2 Americans, who he said entered the South American nation to practice terrorism against the Venezuelan people. All this while Maduro has mobilized military forces against anybody who opposes his government. Meanwhile, opposition candidate Edmundo González, also exiled, is scheduled to travel to the Venezuelan capital to be sworn in as president, while Maduro's government is offering $100,000 to whoever capture him. And how do you feel about what's going to happen in the next 24 hours?
Well, I'm very worried. We are asking all the time for negotiation. And these criminals say no.
So the rally that is going to happen tomorrow right here is scheduled to start at 3:30 p.m., while the peaceful protests in Venezuela are scheduled to start at 10 a.m. For more information with the latest about the South American nation, go to our website, cbsmiami.com. We are live in Doral. Ivan Taylor, CBS News, Miami.
We'll be covering that tomorrow. Ivan, thank you.
Tonight, the number of
There you have it. A lot going down in Venezuela. As you see, tomorrow is going to be a huge day in Venezuela, South America, BRICS. Obviously, Maduro still believes in the almighty dollar because he put the reward up in the world's reserve currency, dollars, and not bolivars or sobranos. Well, let me go over to the comments and see what you guys got to think about that. How you doing, Bear? Man, there's my stalwart. And Matt C, how you doing, brother? Hello, Denise, how you doing? Hello, Stephen. BYOG, bring your own ganja. You can do that too. God created it. It's God's weed. That's what I tell everybody. It's a plant. Just like over there eating a dandelion to help your digestive system. My girl Les, how you doing? Obama is on his way there. I don't even want to incarcerate these folks. Okay? Just let's go, spend 50 cents on a bullet and make it quick, painless, public expedition. That's all we need. Just line them up. Click, 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 fast they can click. Just right down the line. Just like we've seen in all these, crazy historical documentaries and footage of executions of prisoners. That's just my opinion. I've been incarcerated. I know people on death row. I know people who've gotten off death row. I know somebody on death row that's getting ready to be executed on death row. So I think I can say that with a little bit of experience and knowledge and wisdom. All right. Beanie 777, how you doing? Obama bin Laden. Obama do my laundry. And Shaker Bill, Joe Biden has been in China's pocket for 40 years. I think Joe Biden has just been walking around with open pockets, and whoever wants to like donate, they're in the club. So I think it's way beyond China. Obviously, it's in the Ukraine, and I'm sure, what hasn't been discovered is why he would open up the border. I get it. They want more voters, but you've allowed the drug cartels to completely assimilate and take over and create this vast network. And I tried to tell you guys, what was it, 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, right before Christmas, they popped a 24/7, 365 drive-through drug hub at this apartment complex right down the street, about 2 miles. Yeah. Work holidays, any hour of the day, and they pop pounds of meth, ecstasy, cocaine, crack cocaine, heroin, fentanyl. I mean, weed. It was a smorgasbord. So, yeah. We just woke him up. He slept through the funeral today. That would be Joe Biden, which makes sense. Stephen, but Trump was cheated out of the 20 election. Well, there's no doubt, but you cannot unring the bell. The bell's been rung. The damage is done. So it's not like we can just, here, let's put the milk back in here. Uh-oh, we're now short. Where'd they go? That kind of thing. All right, Shaker Bill. The only thing Joe did in his whole congressional history was get a post office named after a veteran. Yeah, and that's just like Sheila Jackson Lee. She was in there 30 years and nothing, zero accomplishments. And I think that should be a part of the term limitation in that terms and conditions. What do y'all think about that? That, if you cannot get some type of legislation entered and passed during your career, you're a failure. You get the hell out. You weren't good enough for the people. Bear, find some info conflicting to past shared knowledge. There are 4 other prisons just like Gitmo. There are a lot more than 4, Bear. They're all over the world. And they're black prisons, and they use other countries' prisons. They're like institutional prisons as a black site. Absolutely. And then, we can get into the whole dumb, deep underground military bases, what that looks like. But definitely they have custodial facilities underground. Absolutely. The real Joe was dead before he was sworn in. I hope so. Hey, Gigi, how you doing? Welcome back to the show. Don't forget the Liberty oil rig in Alaska, huge reserve just waiting to go into full production. Yeah, I mean, this is why I say that the Democratic Party en masse they're either mentally ill, and I hate to use the word retarded, but they're retarded. How you could continue to this day after watching what's going on in California. Clearly a Democratic blue state, allegedly, according to the voting. But we know better. And I think everybody in California knows better now, but they're getting their just desserts. So how could you, as a Democrat, with a conscience, with reason, logic, honor, integrity, good faith, and obviously clean hands, how could you support these insane bozos that are doing everything in their power to either kill you, destroy you, take everything away from you, and suppress you? It makes absolutely zero sense that people would still support this party, that they would even publicly acknowledge, oh yeah, I'm a Democrat. Okay, you support gang rapes of children okay? Little boys, little girls. I'm not going to get very descriptive, but use your imagination. I've read hundreds of sex offender cases in the law books when I did legal work for mostly sex offenders on the WIN unit because it was 70% sex offenders. So every time I sat down at the lunchroom table or a table in the gym or anywhere where there's a 4-top table and I'm in there for a DWI, guess what the other 3 guys are, regardless of what they tell me they're there for. So very explicit cases, and I've seen what, the sickness, the depravity, and I'm not going to go into it. But that's how I see that. And the Democrats are trying to prevent us from being energy efficient, energy self-sufficient, and to be an exporter and to be dominant. Now I'm going to turn you guys on to a new word. If I can find it up here, maybe, whoops, I might have it in another, but I'll go get it. I'll type it in. And I'm going to get to the questions for them. I'll get over here back to that. So let me get over here. So yeah, we have reserves like that everywhere. Did they use the inept Dominion voting machines? Bet they did. If I remember correctly, they had paper ballots. And I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't hold me down to that. Blind Owl, welcome to Show 95. Watching, hit the like button. You can get it if you want. I told y'all I'm not in this for like, subscribers, and all that stuff, even though I post it. I'm just doing it so, the information connects across a wider audience. That's all I really care about. Tahoe, how you doing, ma'am? Greetings from Lake Tahoe. Yeah, hopefully that wildfire doesn't spread over towards your area. Larry, how you doing? DG, I hope that the Bolivar revalues. I really don't know what this means, but I feel it's going to be great. Well, you have to look at it, okay? Their currency is hyperinflated. Who's it hyperinflated under? The Socialist Party. If you're sitting on more oil reserves than every Middle Eastern country combined, okay? And who has the world's most valuable currency? Kuwait, and there's a host of other top 10 currencies over in that region. So it would just be common sense or logic and reason to compute and go, well, Venezuela's obviously worth what the Kuwaiti dinar is. They got way more oil. Kuwait's just a little small little country. But it's because of the leadership, the corruption, and it's deliberate. So, as you've seen what González has done, he's already gone over and met with the Argentinian president who turned that country around almost overnight. Got rid of their inflation, the hyperinflation of their currency. He's met with Biden. He's in communication with Trump. He has the support of the Venezuelans in the United States as well in Venezuela. So tomorrow is high noon at the OK Corral. Give me 1 second. All right. Okay. So we all know what Trump said. Okay. This is the the golden age. So if González is already talking to Trump's team, Trump's representatives, well, hopefully everybody's on the same page with this, right? That's what we're hoping and fantasizing about. But if Maduro stays in there and there's civil strife within Venezuela over, from Friday on, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for that currency to revalue. González gets in there, we might see a little bit quicker, smoother transition because they want to turn the country around. They're tired of their country being poor. Their currency is so hyperinflated that they keep, they can't name the bill what the actual denomination of the bill really is. And they have to label it some down, like, a $1 million note from 2021 is actually $100 trillion or 100 trillion Bolivar. And it's silly. So anyway, we want González in there. We want a smooth transition. We want Maduro, at Guantanamo Bay. I guarantee you that's what the Venezuelans want. So he's been in there for at least 10 years. Go back, that's 2014. Three terms? Yeah, this was his third term. So 2014. And then before that, of course, was a socialist rule. And it was that same party that turned their prison system over to the offenders, the inmates to run. Absolutely. Pulled out all their guards. So that's what we're looking for. I'm with you, Gigi, on TV, I don't believe, right? Hey, Cooper, welcome to the show. Bob, how you doing? Floyd, which way do you think it will go on the currency reset of Bolivar, depending on who the leader? Well, I just answered that question before I even got to it. Okay. Maduro stays there. It's going to continue to do what it does. Him personally and his party, they have all the money. They don't care what the peasants are doing. They want to keep the peasants, down, broke, hopeless. That's why they want González in there, because they're smoking the opium in Venezuela, and you can't blame them. They're smoking it here. So there's a reason they flee Venezuela. They're looking for a better life because they're suppressed by their own government. Steve, no, arrest the thieves and prosecute. Shaker Bill, one in Greensland and Diego Garcia too. Yeah, they're everywhere. Everywhere. The bad guy, hey Bink, how you doing? The bad guys have to face consequences of their actions, or there's no reason for him not to do it in the future. Right. And folks, that's a must. All right. We must have truth, transparency, and accountability. If you're corrupt, compromised, have acted in criminal and unconstitutional ways over the past 4 or 5 years, you got to go. You need to be held accountable. The truth needs to get busted out. No. Sorry about that. It was a local call. That's why I took it. If there's no accountability, that other people do not see their peers being held accountable for the same or similar criminal activity, they're going to continue to do it. I can't tell you how many people I talk to. They're just like, man, the whole system in my area, my city, my town, my county is corrupt. Everybody's corrupt. I was talking to one of the Phillips brothers. Y'all may not know any of this, from Smith County. And I've had plenty of dealings with Smith County, which is Tyler, Texas. And they're Smith County, man, there's so many of them. But I would say definitely out of all the counties in Texas, which there's a shit ton of them, top 10 in corruption. Smith County. Yeah. You want to get, yeah, that's a whole separate show. All right. Let's see. Do I have any RV news? Alessandro. Listen, I don't know any rates. Okay. I'm not privy to those people, those connections. I don't have any kind of connections in Iraq or the Central Bank of Iraq or any of these governments. What I do is just go listen to the facts, follow world politics, world economics, listen to as much stuff as I can, read as much stuff as I can, and just follow what's going on. So if I guarantee you, Venezuela is going to stay static, just like they are. If Gonzalez gets in there tomorrow, some way, somehow, I mean, it may not even be tomorrow. It may be the 21st when Trump gets inaugurated. And then, who knows? The United States may send a SEAL team in there and take Maduro out. You never know what's going to happen. Crazier things have happened. But as far as, any other RV news, no, that's all I have. I just wanted to give you guys an update on the current environment of Venezuela, simply because a lot of people, it's still wild card. Nobody knows what it's going to be. I look at the Venezuelan currency as crypto. You can buy in at 0.000000025, and you're hoping it'll just get to, 12 cents, or even, a couple dollars. It doesn't even have to go up to $1,000 or whatever. But just that gap that it's got to make up because it's so hyperinflated. And I've seen videos of Venezuelan children with all this Venezuelan currency, making, folding them up and making those little connectors, and then making baskets and mats and all kind of thing out of, hundreds of trillions in Venezuelan currency. But basically, they're just throwing that shit away because it's so worthless. For you who do not understand the Venezuelan economy, they don't have paper currency notes that they transact in commerce every day. They're either using a dollar bill or debit card, one or the other. They don't use Venezuelan currency because it's so bulky. It takes too much to make a transaction. GG, if they ran out Maduro, I'm thinking kind of like Trump presidency, and they have elected someone else, like you said, new leadership is what's going to do it. Absolutely. Mark DN, how you doing? If exchange rate is 1 cent, what does that make the latest 100 note worth? I don't know. And I don't know which 100 note you're describing, because they've monkeyed with their currency denominations to where what you may accept as a 100 note for me might be a different series for the 100 note. It's really insane. It's and nobody really knows. I don't know anybody that's an expert on Venezuelan currency. I have a book that Banknote World sent me. I can go get it, show it to you, and it just tells you about all the different currencies that they've created. Gonzalez is in there now. Let's see. Well, he's in exile. That's where Gonzalez has been. And now there's $100,000 bounty by Maduro for Gonzalez. So it'll be interesting to see where, how you doing, Mark? Where this ends up. Tomorrow's a big day for Venezuela. And I believe Venezuela is on the central time zone for the United States. Steve, own nothing, control everything. Yes, do that through a trust. Bob, RV News, it's going to happen on the 1st, then on their 10th, and then maybe next week, and then hopefully by the end of the month. Yeah, just, God bless us, at least we're not the can. That can's been kicked so many goddamn times. I'm surprised there's even a can left. It should be flat by now. Shouldn't anything be left to kick. But God dang, they're doing a good job kicking it down the road. Tyler, Steve, right on, sir. Everything in trust. Absolutely. Steph Jones, Z said before 80% chance on January 1st. Wrong. Z said the 7th, 8th, or 9th. Wrong. Now playing the inauguration date. Gee, see a pattern? That's why you will never hear me throw out dates, because I don't know. And I've always said it's al-Sudani who will be the one who will pull the trigger for the Iraqi dinar. Whether or not any other currencies go at the same time, I can't tell you. And there's nobody that I trust enough to tell me that for a fact for me to relay it in public. Not going to happen. Oops, 80% for January 1st. Let every man be a liar, but God be true. All right. GT, I heard Bolivar. That's what they call it, the wild card, the dark horse, because nobody knows what it's going to do. Simply for the fact that who's running the Venezuelan government. That has everything to do with the value of their currency. Because the people know. That young lady, I can't remember her name, that showed speaking. They called her the opposition leader. And Gonzalez looks kind of frail, old. He didn't look much of a step better than Joe Biden, in my own opinion. He could be a spry rooster, but I just didn't see that, and I thought they could have picked a much younger candidate, but. Obviously, Gonzalez must have had some cachet for them to put a 75-year-old in the president to go up against a much younger, probably half his age, Maduro. Ellen, hello, welcome to the show. 1,000 per 1 million, and you did a correction. Sorry, meant 10,000 per 1 million. I'm at work trying to multitask. Well, welcome to the show. Thank you for that. All right, Stephen, God made a non-movable flat earth, deny and call God a liar. Right? Yeah, even Mark Z the other day was like, man, maybe you flat earthers are onto something. NASA, never a straight answer. Stephen, I know a bunch of NASA engineers because I'm in Houston. And I met one of them, and my best friend was out with him, and a chemtrail or 2 or 3 or whatever, we're in the sky, and she goes, hey, she's shining the dude on. Hey, what is that? And he goes, oh, that's a contrail. She looks over and goes, are you sure that's not a chemtrail? He goes, oh, no, that's just a conspiracy theory. There's no such thing as chemtrails. This is a retired NASA engineer. So I can't wait to just sit him down and, because I haven't seen him since, and really tell him about the organization that he works for, because as you guys well know, I've been to the Johnson Space Center. I've been in the actual facility where they train the astronauts. I could literally stand there and look up and see a mock-up of the space shuttle where they trained, allegedly, to take these trips into outer space, allegedly. And to the moon, allegedly. I saw the lunar module, the spacesuit they allegedly wore. And when you see all this shit up close and personal, you're like, movie props, allegedly. That's the NASA story. Robert Chandler, I like those Bolivar numbers. You know, listen, if the Bolivar revalues, I'm not going to say you're going to get like stupid rich or wealthy, but you're going to make a profit. I'll leave it at that. They just have too many natural resources to not be a strong economy. They're being suppressed by their government. Absolutely. They're stealing from the people to enrich themselves. Bob Floyd, you say how it is. God bless you. In time, the truth will win. So that tells me the truthers will be blessed, but in God's time, not ours. Right. And Bob, let me address that, because there are people out there masquerading as truthers who are not. They're everything but a truther. Some of them, they're psychopaths. They're not even sociopaths. They're psychopaths, because they are scamming people so hard out of their entire life savings. Okay. I'm not talking about like you liquidated your 401k, or you went and got a second mortgage on your house, or, you cashed in a CD. No, these people put all their eggs in one basket and got smoked so hard that some of them ended their life because they had lost everything, their retirement, their hope, their future, their children's future, their grandchildren's future. And these evil alleged truthers are still out there doing what they do. Have zero remorse, don't care, and just want more. And it's the truth. So that's when the wash comes out and these people are finally exposed for who they really truly are, okay? And they need to be held accountable as well to the fullest extent of the law. And these are the same people that are going to be lining up to take your exchange money. And sadly, people that are going to watch this video are going to fall for the okie doke, be gullible, naive, and give them their money. Talking about Anna Von Reitz, who's, yeah, I got backdoor meetings with Trump. Bullshit. Oh, did I say it out loud? Really? Trump's talking to Anna Von Reitz, whose bank is in Switzerland and not 2525 North Loop West, Houston, Texas, Suite 125. Oh. Guess what I found? Dun, 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 because y'all asked. And here I can peel this off his name now. I got call. This right here, this guy, okay, who in my 18-minute undercover video clearly stated he has no affiliation with Anna Von Reitz's Global Family Bank, Trust, Group, whatever. Yet on the Global Family, one of their websites, this guy is the Chief Financial Officer, the CFO. That guy. So this is, the deception that they use, the lies that they're going to use to get your freaking money. Okay. What does that say? financial services, accounting and tax services. He's the president, and he's been in business for at least, I think, 25 years, if not 30. He's well established, entrenched into the community, lives out in the woodlands. People just like him and Anna Von Reitz, they're lined up to take your money. And sadly, some people right here in the chat are probably going to just give it right up and not listen to Fearless Floyd. Phil G. There's another one. I mean, I can go down the list, the laundry list of all these scammers, grifters, liars, cons, whatever you want to label them. Why haven't I not been sued? Why has not one of these entities has ever filed a lawsuit against me? I've never received a cease and desist notice. Why? Because I swear, tell truth, whole truth, no but truth, so help me God. And they can't defeat that. That's why. All right. So, out with the truth first. Roland, how you doing? Did I miss what's going on with the dong and the rupiah? I have not talked about either one of those. I can tell you this, and I've talked to some people who have recently visited Vietnam, and when this thing occurs, that's probably a place you should go visit, Vietnam. And we'll get into this when I do my series on after the exchange, what that looks like for people, places you should go just to hang out. Thomas Williams, Great Rising, welcome to the show. Russ, how you doing? Welcome to the show. They moved the You sure it's not one of those turquoise blue poly drums that are almost indestructible? Because a 55-gallon drum will rust, and it probably would be rusty by now. Baby crab cakes, hello. Yeah, well, we've been waiting on you. Soulless demons, right? Stephen Blanchard. Without 65 million a day, NASA can claim anything. Yeah. My own personal opinion, NASA's got to go. Bloated, ineffective, inept agency that is adding no value to the American people. Just a waste of money. I mean, they've got astronauts stranded on the space station. They can't even go get down. Hang on. We got to go hire some company. Yeah. Does Uber go to the space station? No. How about Lyft? No. Think we can get a rocket from Turo or something? No, they don't have them. We got to call Elon Musk. Yeah, that's NASA. A lot of snake oil salesmen out there, Moki. Yep, absolutely. Tons of them. And if y'all don't understand what Phil G did to his clientele, okay, all these people that he tells you that, the hundreds of thousands that are watching. The insanity, the gullibility of what these people will, adhere to. This is what he did. He hooked up with a company called Goldco, and Goldco now has tons of freaking money that they can spend on advertising and marketing and pay these people to come endorse their product. Well, if they did their homework on Goldco, they would find out that Phil G hooked up with Goldco and they did a deal. And Phil G used his, I'm in a secret classified group that travels the world clandestinely, and we're saving the world. We're the white hats. And when we had all these bank failures, you remember that, Rash? He utilized that as a tool to manipulate his audience into divesting all of their bank accounts, savings accounts, investments, 401ks, life saving, whatever, and buy into Goldco, into silver. And they paid 2 to 3 times, okay, 2 to 3 times spot. So if spot was $20 back then, they paid $40 to $60 for one silver dollar. And then when it came time to get their money back out, because the banks obviously did not fail, oh, well, we're going to give you back, spot price plus our fee, transaction fee. But you charged us almost $50 for that one coin. Where's the other 30? Oh, sorry. I went and bought an estate in Hawaii and a ranch in Colorado. And yeah, that's what I did with the money. That's what I did with your money. I went and started buying multi-million-dollar properties all across the world. That's what Phil G did. And there's other ones out there just like him. So y'all be careful. I'm telling you, there's people going to be out there that are so slick. And they're going to have all these degrees and certifications and awards and plaques and, to dazzle you. And if you ever go into any office, any meeting, okay, and the person in front of you, they're higher than you, do not have that meeting. It will not turn out well for you. Take my word for that. I might explain it later in a different video. Hello, Thomas Williams. It's a pleasant surprise to see you here. I haven't seen you in Mark's recently. Could be me. I don't know. I was blocked on Mark Z show because I started saying something about the fires in California. That's odd. You were timed out 3 times on Mark's show. Wow, I've never been timed out on Mark's show. I guess I'm doing something right. I don't know. Hey, Lakota. Thank you for all the information provided. I do appreciate it very much. I'm listening. Since I have a Lakota on here, I'm going to presume you are an Indigenous Native American, a Sioux. I would assume, no pun intended on that one. But I am investigating Chief LC Fast Horse. And there are at least 7 different individual Sioux tribes in the Sioux Nation. I've contacted one, and they don't know anything about a LC Fast Horse. They don't even know anything about a Chief Fast Horse. So I'm on that. I don't know whether he is or he isn't, but just some things that happened. I said, you know what? Let me go dive in and see what that looks like. That's a possibility, baby crab cakes. I'll give you guys a perfect example. If you go over to my Telegram group, the Fearless Floyd Show, you can nobody who owns a Telegram room, group, whatever, loses members drastically. And for the last month, it's, I've gone down from a little over 3,600. Now I'm down to like 3,450. And I went through this before, where, I go look at the actual analytics, where they have the lines. And more people are joining than leaving, which, I'm sure, deleted accounts. But when you look at the actual numbers, they're the opposite. So, that's why I said I don't care about numbers, likes, subscribers, all that stuff, because I know it's manipulated. Absolutely, it's manipulated. If they don't want your video to be seen, it's going to be suppressed and nobody's going to see it. It's just the way it is. I don't know if they have an AI algorithm that picks that up and automatically does that, but yeah. And we know what Mark Zuckerberg did with Meta and, went and had a meeting with Trump and then did an about face and fired all the fact checkers. I wonder who told him to do that. Or you're going to be in Guantanamo Bay, Mark. Because we got some vacancies. Do now anyway, huh? Yeah. I stayed home today because of bad weather in Fort Worth. You're in Fort Worth, Thomas Williams? Yeah, y'all had a substation that blew up. And thank God it wasn't worse than what it was. And y'all got y'all's power back restored quickly. R. Sassy, hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I have a friend who lives up in Keller, and he posted that last night during Mark Z show. And I was watching it on Facebook, and you can see it burning up. All right. Donna, how you doing? And the fake Trump coin that Phil sold, I didn't even know he sold a fake Trump coin, but yeah. Yeah, these people are just grifters and scammers, and it's really sad. That's why I've never really been into the whole marketing and advertising thing. My whole thing has just been like an evolution of, meeting smart people like Ann LaFleur. I heard her talk. I was listening to one of my Telegram chats in my own room. Wasn't even participating. Then I heard this woman talk. I was like, who the hell is that? that voice has never been in my Telegram. And I started listening and paying attention. And I was like, and so I jumped on there and introduced myself, and we established this relationship. That's how it happened, that organic. And we decided to join forces and start doing the classes. And then it evolved into the book. And now I do, I'm sponsoring and supporting products that I am using, I am consuming. In fact, I had these folks on the other day, Carolyn, and I talked to Troy last night. And he told me double up. He goes, start taking, 2 instead of 2 at one time. Because I break it up. I do 1 in the morning, 1 in the PM, AM, PM. But he said, double up on that. Do 2 in the morning, 2 in the PM for the first, 2 weeks at least, to kind of give that, that initial shot. So that's what I'm doing. I started upping it to 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. So I've not been a real proponent on bringing in products that I don't use, wouldn't use, don't know anything about. So yeah, everything that I bring you, I will use. I'll take it in front of you. I'm not tripping. I'm looking for good results. That is something that I am going to, they asked me to talk to Mark about that, about the stem cell activator, because Mark is on the stem cells. He was supposed to call me last night. Whiskey and Wisdom, he had a good time on there. He was running late, so I let him slide on giving me a call last night. So I'm going to call him as soon as I complete this video, and I'm going to bump his wheelchair. That's what I'm going to do. And for those of you who don't know, and I don't think y'all do, I have tentatively scheduled Puerto Rico, February 5th through the 14th. So I'm just waiting on a couple documents to get approved, because I'm taking my doggy with me this time. And of course, I will go see Mark and hang out with him and Zester and meet the rest of the group. and obviously toward the island. And you're Sue from Pine Ridge. Okay. Do you know anything of Chief LC Fast Horse being the chief of chiefs? Because his story is, okay, and you may not know, that he is the chief of all the tribes in the United States of America. That he has all the RV funds, or whatever that looks like, whatever it's labeled, I don't know, for all the tribes, and he's going to disperse it to the tribes. So he's made a lot of claims that haven't come to fruition or cannot be verified, backed up, whatever. So I decided, hey, let me go take a deep dive into this guy and see if he really is who he says he is, and he's really connected with who he says he is, and has some type of authority to do some of the things that allegedly he's doing. Because if not, then, well, we should all be knowledgeable, because I have had him on the show as a guest, and I was taking him at his word until I started questioning some of the things he said. Okay, well, come on, man. You keep saying, you're going to bring it. Don't be half-stepping. Stranded from summer, but has red hats on board for Christmas, right, Bink? They should be rich from all that suing they do. My Uncle Chuck Laverne is full of information just for the Lakota. Long story, he is my father's brother. Are you speaking of LC Fast Horse? It's your father's brother? You used the word or letter DEW about the fire and got blocked. Wow, that's pretty crazy. That's an algorithm right there. All right, all I can say is that I have nothing to do with anyone being banned or anything. You can watch the amount of emojis and capital letters you use. That will get you shut down. Yeah, I've never, I've used, I don't use all capital letters, but if I have a word that I want to be exemplified in my statement in a chat, I'll capitalize that one word, or maybe two. But for the most part, no. All right. Buffy, welcome to the show. Roland, how you doing? So I don't have to pay providers for their time. Also from the Red Cloud bloodline. Okay. GT Greatness. I got booted out of one of the groups for nothing. There was someone in the chat that disagreed with me, and I disagreed with them. They had no business making assumptions on me. Next thing, I was gone. Yeah. If you get kicked out of a group like that, just go get you a little needle and thread or your iron and iron on that patch or sew it on and wear it as a badge of honor. Absolutely. Seeds of wisdom, same thing. You get in there, say the wrong thing, you're gone. Which, that's a cult. Pure definition of a cult. And God bless them. But I would say the majority of the people over there in the Seeds of Wisdom team, they're not good people. Albert, welcome to the show. I've had Mark Z question my humanitarian intent because I made a comment about how he sells the hopium day after day, week after week. I said I was tired of him saying he feels warm and fuzzy. Well, it is what it is. I don't watch Mark for the RV news. And, you shouldn't watch anybody for the RV news. You should be going and looking for the RV news yourself from the direct source, just like everybody else is doing. It's the source. That's all it is. You're relying on other people to go do that investigatory work and take their word for what they're telling you is actual fact. That's what we used to rely on the media for. They were supposed to keep the politicians in check, and then boom, all of a sudden they got in bed together, and oh, yeah, I was into that. And now mainstream media, we just look at it, it's fake news. that was on Disney Channel. That's fake news. Right? That's it. And I get it. And I understand it. But you have to look at it in a more deeper perspective. If you bought into this expecting overnight success, you got in it for all the wrong reasons. This has always been a long-term investment. All you had to do was just turn around and ask somebody who's already in line. You go, how long have you been here? I've been here since 2008. Oh, you've been waiting a long time, huh? When do you think it's going to happen? Well, I don't know, but I've been waiting since 2008. And I guarantee you, all of them, I don't care who they are, who their names are, all of them, none of them know. They don't know rates. They don't know dates. Anything they're telling you, 100% speculation. It's a guess. All they're doing is relaying what somebody else told them or they read it somewhere else. Until you see that number on the Forex, and you can walk in a bank and go, damn, thank you, dinar for dollars, or dong for dollars, or rupiah for dollars, or rupiah for dinar, whatever you want to do, until you can walk in anywhere and it's fluctuate with that cash. Nobody knows anything. They're all speculating. I mean, Bruce, Wolverine, how many times have those two guys said it's, today, it's tomorrow, it's this weekend, it's this, it's that, it's this, and been completely, absolutely wrong. Mike Barr has done it. Mike Barr has called it numerous times over the past 45 days, I would say, maybe even 60. I don't watch Mike. I don't pay attention to him. I don't listen to Gentel or any of that stuff. I don't listen to anybody. Y'all ask me all the time, did you seen this video? Did you hear that? I'm like, nope. I don't care. I'm not getting on the freaking roller coaster. You know why? Because I know it goes up and down, does all these crazy turns and loop-de-loops, and I'm not doing that. I'm just going to sit right here, be calm. Somebody's going to call me and go, hey, Floyd, it's happening. And I'm like, oh, fucking hey, cool. Now I can start looking to change my life. But until then, I have to continue to do what I do and just be on this calm level thing that one day I'll be able to kick back and go, damn, that took forever. But now I'm going to go have fun. So that's why I did this series. That's why I came up with that. So we can address all these little things. So, please don't take what these folks are telling you that are they're speculative. It sucks. I get it. Gigi, the first time I went to sign up with Phil and saw an ad to pay, I went the other way. Yeah. See, there's a bunch of them. Multi-Troy 63. Well, I spoke to Jeff Monday. Absolutely. No, not Monday. Saturday morning. Yeah, I was getting texts at 5:30 a.m. from Jeff. Woke me up. And we spoke later that day. He still can't come on, but I'm trying to do a workaround, not a reach around. Don't get them confused. Okay. No reach arounds here. A workaround. And get him back on the show to talk about something that's not about the Rodriguez estate. That's not about Elizabeth. It's not about the RV or any of that information. Something wholly separate. So as long as he's not talking about that, then maybe he can come on and talk about other things. So that's where we are with Jeff. It's up to Jeff. The ball is over in Jeff's court. He's got to pick it up and dribble. I'm here. And greetings from Louisiana State. Yeah, that's our cousin over there. Our Cajun cousins, as we like to call them. I'll tell you what, you want to talk about some proud folks over in Louisiana, very, I don't even know if this is a word, culturalistic. They love their culture. They adhere to it. They're proud of it. Good people. You know what? I like Louisianians more than I like people from Dallas, Dallasites, whatever you want to call them. I cannot stand people from Dallas, and I'm sorry if you're from Dallas. I've just never had a good experience with people that are from Dallas. They're conceited, stuck up, snobbish, think their shit don't stink, and the Dallas Cowboys are the end all be all. Yeah. All right. My uncle is not chief. Are you talking about LC Fast Horse? LC Fast Horse is your uncle, and he is not chief, or he's not a chief. He's just like me, a citizen of his tribe. I'd definitely like to know that. It's really going to be, it's going to suck if I get confirmation from all the Sioux tribes that he is not a chief. That's not going to go down well. Yeah, that's going to be like eating a dry donut. Beanie 777. Alberto, I got banned because I got fed up with the warm and fuzzy, and jokingly because I was scheduled for a colonoscopy that maybe he should schedule one to see about the warm. Oh man. Yeah, I've often commented on Mark's gut. That, you know, I think he's got a parasite in there thinking for him on his gut. My gut tells me Mark's a really good guy. He really is. He means well, extremely generous and kind. You know, I don't know if I've told you, you know, I've said it on my show before, but when I was in Puerto Rico the first time for 3 weeks, you know, and I'd never met Mark. You know, we had an association because I had a show, he had a show. Obviously, he's like, you know, 50 times more popular than I am. But when I was there, you know, I said, hey, man, yeah, I'm at San Juan Airport just to go to my lodgings, check in, all that. And he said, hey, do you have a car? And I said, no, you know, I don't. He said, well, sadly, we have an extra car and I would lend it to you, but we already have somebody here that's using it. I'm like, really? That's extremely generous of you. I mean, wow. I was totally blown away that he made that offer out of the blue. Okay. And this is somebody who's never met me, doesn't know anything really about me, offering this up to me. And when he did that, I was like, oh my God, this guy's really got a genuine heart. He's a really good guy. I mean, you know, you don't lend people you don't never even met face to face a car unless you have somebody personally vouching for him. And, you know, it was just me. So got to give the man his due on that. Now, his speculation that the RV's going to happen this week, that was, you know, that just goes with the territory, you know. Let's just say at any one time, he's got at least 1,000 viewers watching live, if not 3, 4, 5, 6,000. So out of all those people, they all want to know rates and dates. So they're constantly pounding him about that information. So after a while, he goes, "Hey, well, my gut tells me that it could be this 3-day weekend or this holiday or whatever." But Mark's told you repeatedly, he doesn't know. He's just telling you what he's, being told. He's being informed from his contacts, whatever that looks like. I don't even know who his contacts are. All right. His claims are far from true. He only has his last name, Fast Horse, from Pine Ridge. Okay, so that's sad to hear. That really is. That's very sad to hear. Now I'm disappointed, but I kind of expected it. I tell you what, I would like to talk to you. So go to thefearlessfloydshow.com, my website, The Fearless Floyd Show. I'm The Fearless Floyd Show everywhere, folks. So thefearlessfloydshow.com, scroll down to the bottom of the homepage. It's going to show my cell phone number, 929. Call me. I'd like to have a nice conversation about Fast Horse and see how far in the quagmire I really am as far as exposure for presenting possibly somebody with fantastical stories. All right. Do you know anything about the LaSalle corrections? A friend of mine was hurt while in Fort Worth jail for false arrest, blind and one-eye nerve damage. I don't know anything about LaSalle corrections per se. Assuming you're talking about the Tarrant County Jail in Fort Worth. I used to work at Dickey's Arena as a rigger for Rhino, Texas. And I used to go up to Fort Worth a lot. And of course, we weren't staying in 5-star hotels. We were staying in the cheapest of the cheap. So generally, there's probably drug deals going outside or in the parking lot in the places that we were staying. But, I didn't see anything good about Fort Worth, Thomas. I call it Fort Worthless. It's like the redheaded stepchild of Dallas. The little brother that you don't want anybody to know that you're a little brother or see that you're a little brother, that kind of thing. I don't know. Like I said, you're more than welcome to talk to me. I hate it when people have to go through that in the jail and prison system here in Texas. But the problem is if you didn't watch my video, Bill of Lies, that I did, what was that, Tuesday? The appellate courts here in Texas are corrupt. Of course, the executive branch is corrupt. The legislative branch is corrupt. It's sickening what we've allowed. In Texas is supposed to be a red state. Well, it's a rhino state. Even the executive, the CEO for the state, Greg Abbott, the governor, he used to be a Democrat. Then it was convenient to become a Republican. He switched parties. Most people don't know that. So he is a liberal left-winger who just put on a red tie and said, "Oh, I'm a Republican." And of course, he has Trump's backing and endorsement, but I'm going to try to change that in 2026 when he's up for re-election. And we're going to see if we can primary the dog shit out of Greg Abbott and get that fool out of there. He can roll off into the sunset and get the fuck out of Texas politics forever. Go retire, Greg. We're done with your bullshit, violating your oath of office. All is good. Just want everyone to get along with difference and hope very best for future of humanity. Yeah, I agree with that at all. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Buffy put some stuff up here on cults. And if you know, we did a show together addressing some cult stuff. She's still talking about a cultist leader over in her channel, Occult Examiner on YouTube. So go check her out over there. She's doing a lot of work over there. Y'all go pay attention, give her some love. All I was saying is that it was giving people that were struggling false hope, and they would keep coming back. I'm a Desert Storm veteran, and I would say that I earned my opinion on the matter. Yeah, I agree with that. Thank you for serving. I appreciate you. That's a place you shouldn't have been, but it is what it is. Yeah, we all have opinion. We all have the right to be heard. First Amendment rules. It's the First Amendment for a reason. And if you didn't want to let me talk freely, well, then I'll go get the Second Amendment and force you to hear me, right? That how it worked? Hey, Adeladia. I hope I'm saying your name right. Every time I see it, I was like, ooh, I should just call you Ms. Gonzalez. No one knows when the RV will happen except the ones going to do it. And, that's so correct. And, it may not even be ones. It may be one individual, and it could be just Iraq. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. It could be BRICS. I can tell you this, okay? If Biden would have won, or if the Democrats would have won, didn't matter who they put up, November 5th, BRICS would be in effect right now. You would see the BRICS currency floating around in the world, in the economy, their digital economy. They would be hooking that up immediately, because they're not going to, watch the United States go $50 trillion in debt. And you see Joe Biden, throwing out money like he's in a strip bar. Who wants some? Israel, Ukraine, South Africa, Uganda. Dollars for everybody. Oh, you want $1 billion more? Okay. And by the way, we're going to let out those terrorists so they can come on back and terrorize some more. Because guess what? As soon as we let you go, the border's open. Y'all just come on back. You got to be here before 20th noon. Insanity. So I guess the terrorists are going to leave Cuba on a round trip ticket and just bounce right back to the United States, land in Mexico, and walk right back in. If I was them, I think I'd go on vacation first. Go get some R&R. Y'all might want to go to Vietnam. Right? Thank you for that, baby crab cakes. Ellen, you like his warm and fuzzies. Sometimes they are good warm and fuzzies. But when, when you're speculating on the date, that just gives people hopium. And there are people who are literally living hour to hour in their car waiting for the RV. And I can't even imagine sacrificing everything to live in a car waiting on something to happen. And you're just hanging on every kernel of every nugget of information out there from all the different sources. And of course, everybody's been wrong. Because here we are talking about it and not living it. And Irene H. received an email this morning from Chase Wealth Management. Well, hopefully that's a good thing. I'm banned from Chase Banks. Yeah. That just took one $250,000 promissory note deposited in an account. And they called me back like, I don't know, a day or two later. Oh, Mr. Tarbin, we're going to close your account. Why? I don't know. But we're refunding your deposit and giving you back your promissory note. Okay. You're going to send it to me, or do I need to come pick it up? So I went and picked it up. Ask Warren Buffett. He said a good long-term investment. It's just like Trump back when he, allegedly gave out a Zim note to one of the to the Apprentice contestants and told them this is going to be worth a lot of money one day. And Bruce been calling it twice a week forever. Yeah, one of these days he's going to be right. He's going to be able to get up on top of the hen house and crow like a rooster that he's right, that he called it right. And it just amazes me that people still tune into that. And this personally, when somebody tells me to go, investigate some social media host and they do videos or podcasts, I'll go see what they did today. And then I'll go see what they did a year ago today. And then 2 years ago today, 3 years ago today, 4 years ago today. And if they're still talking about the same bullshit that they were talking about a year ago and 2 years ago today, click. Goodbye. And there's a bunch of them out there that do that. And some of these people have become just stupidly popular. It's amazing. I don't know, Gigi. Strict Hydra 9105. I'm sick of Mark Z. Mark is on a lot. Just watching his show, he's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12 times a week. So almost twice a day for at least an hour today. That can get mind numbing after a while. Thank God he spruces it up with world news, which that's the only reason I really watch it, is to listen to the other news. Because sometimes he'll hit something, I'm like, oh, that's cool. But he doesn't take that deep dive into it, and I'll go take a deep dive into it. But I can understand how you could be a little nauseated from Mark and his narrative. And he's pretty static about who he has on his show. There's a reason that I'm not on Whiskey and Wisdom. There's a reason I haven't been a guest on his show. It's not because he doesn't like me. It's a whole separate thing. I think positivity is where everyone needs to focus. Well, I'm going to tell you, focus on yourself and focus on your future. Because if you're not doing that, when the day gets here, you're going to be unprepared. And listen to me when I tell you this, and I'm under oath, and I promise you this, that some of the people right here in this chat watching right now, 211, 11 of you, I would almost bet are going to lose everything in the first 90 days. It's just like when people take my classes and I'm doing an introduction at the beginning of the class. And I tell people, 20% of you, you're going to take the class and that's it. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to create a trust, nothing. Another 20%, you're going to take the class. You're going to build your trust. You're not going to do anything with it. And another 20%, they're going to do their trust. They're going to start on it and then abandon it. And another 20%, they'll probably do the trust and operate it. And I don't know why somebody would pay for something and don't utilize it, but statistically, that's just how it is. It's odd. It's weird, but that's what statistics show. So we should focus on the positivity. Buffy, Simply Lynn channel keeps pushing back. Last I looked, it's also a cult. Yeah, I've watched maybe 1 or 2 videos of Simply Lynn. And, you know, that's why I just try not to do RV news. I'm going to do geopolitics or I'm going to follow the money, what that looks like. Because if you tell me you're going to build 20 cities, okay? I used to work in construction. Might have a little card in here somewhere. Yep, here we go. I went through all my business cards, and I used to be in construction. Most of these are, you know, drywallers, painters, or whatever. So in doing so, I, you know, ran across some of my old cards that I had when I was operations manager at TCW Construction, Ultra Lux Residential and Commercial Construction. It is now defunct, but there's a picture of a home that was completely, this house right here you're looking at, that house was taken to the freaking studs. Everything stripped off the house to the studs. 8-foot ceilings, 10-foot ceilings. Absolutely. And that house was completely redone. And I know the owner to that house on the back of that. So that's what we did. We did extremely high-end residential remodeling to the point where you could not see any seams in the baseboards, trim, and everything's perfect, perfectly smooth. All gaps filled, sanded. Yeah, the whole 9 yards. I mean, yeah, perfect. All right, go ahead and check me out. I tell no lies. Leon A. Red Cloud OSC Travel. Yeah, we've spoken before, Leon. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, man. I'm just, you know, yeah, it's not me. Okay. I gave everything up to God. I said this in the AA the other day. You know, I tried to drive my own car, my own life for 40 years. I drove myself to prison 3 times. I drove myself to jail over 30. I was not a good driver. I failed at everything, failed at being a husband, failed at being a father, failed at life, failed at a career. I failed. So one day I just like, you know what? Hey, God, take the keys, man. I'll be in the backseat of the limo. You drive. I'm just going to get back to enjoy the ride. That's what I'm doing. That's why I don't stress on how many people like my video, how many people watch my video. I'm just going to, guess what? I'm going to find more topics. I'm going to keep cranking out videos day after day after day till somebody comes over here and beats me up to shut me up. But yeah, we will definitely talk. GT Greatness, they get monetized from FluffTube with the amount of views, the length of time viewed, yeah, and likes. And I've monetized a handful of my videos on YouTube just to see what monetization of a video looks like, because I know when you watch my video, if you have to sit through those ads for me to get monetized, I know what that looks like. It sucks. So that's why most of my videos are, I would say 98, if not 99% of my videos are not monetized for that reason. Unless you have a shit ton of subscribers and you get, you know, thousands of views on a monetized video, then you start making some money. The stuff I'm making is, you know, like $1, you know. I definitely have not hit $100 in YouTube revenues this whole time. I doubt I'm over 30. Rumble, I think I'm up to like, you know, $20 or something. And I'm not in it for the money, so that's not the whole deal behind all that. So I really don't care. If I was concerned, I'd be doing a lot more to remediate that, but no. Robbie Buck, yeah, we got into that. Jeff, I'm just waiting on Jeff. Jeff, the ball's in Jeff's court. Whenever Jeff wants to come on, he can come on. Open invitation. He just texted me a little while ago. Actually, he texted me yesterday and again today. And he sent me a picture of a family of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And said, poor lady is asking for legal help, railroaded for being white. And he told me to read it, but I don't have anything to read. So I don't know what he was discussing, but again, somebody reaching out for help. Jeff's obviously sending them to me because he knows I'm good at what I do. Should have been an attorney. Missed out on that. And I actually looked into, because you cannot be an attorney in the state of Texas with a felony conviction. So I was like, I wonder if I can go be an attorney for my tribe. Oh, well, guess what? You got to be state bar licensed. Yeah, you heard me correctly. A sovereign, independent, indigenous, Native American tribe, Muskogee Creek Nation in Okmulgee, Oklahoma. Yeah. Bar attorneys. It's actually a corporation. Oh, yeah. They sold all the way out. And I'm sure most of the tribes are in the same boat. And it sucks. I was appalled when I read that. Ted Newcomb, how you doing? Just a quick lunch break. I had to watch the replay. Okay, yeah. I'm basically just answering questions for you guys. Dallas are up, too uppity for their own good. Yeah, they suck. They suck. I'm reliving all the bad memories I have about Dallas. And I used to love topless bars, and even the dang topless bars in Dallas sucked. When you come down to Houston, you really get Southern hospitality. You get friendly people who are warm, generous, welcome you with open arms, give you that Southern hospitality. And I'm not saying everywhere in Houston is like that, but if you're like me, a native Houstonian, then yeah, that's what you got. Sorry. Folks everywhere looking for the truth. Let's respect those bringing us the news, info, etc. Take what's good for you and not what's not good for you, right? Yep, I agree with that. Is he the one pushing the Moors thing? And that's the Moors, Moors. I don't know who you're describing as far as he. You lived in Metairie for 6 months? Yeah, I'm sure you loved it. Food's awesome. Yeah, if you like boudin, oh yeah, you just ride it home. Bob, I was in Edo College room. So was I at one time before I got kicked out. I just learned E-Pass. If that's true, rest in peace, Ed. But I do have a hard time trusting groups and so-called redemption centers with this much speculative exchange, right? I went into that the other day about what redemption centers could possibly look like. And let me explain this to you, folks. And when you hear this, okay, logic and reason is going to kick the fuck in and you're going to go, oh, never thought about that, Floyd. Redemption center, okay? I don't know how much currency you have. I don't give a shit. And please keep it to yourself how much currency you have. Do not post it in public social media platforms or anywhere else. Don't tell your friends, family, nobody. Sit down and shut the fuck up. Please, or you'll lose it. I'm telling you. Okay? Let's just say a redemption center, okay? A redemption center. Now, it could be a bank. It could be a high school gymnasium, whatever, okay? because nobody knows what it is. Everybody's speculating it's either going to be a military base or it's going to be some type of financial institution, right? This is what it looks like, folks. If they're going to do 100 appointments that day, they're going to process 100 people through there. And this is all hypothetical, okay? And every person has 10 million dinar, which are going to revaluate at $3.50. So every person's worth 35 million. So let's tack a couple 2 zeros for the 100 people in line at 35 million. Now what do we have? 3.5 billion, all in this one facility. No bank in the world stores that value of currency on hand. You'd be lucky to walk into any bank and get $1 million cash at one shot. Generally, if you went over 50 to 100 grand, depending on the bank and the size and the location, they have to order it. So you see the logistics, security issues, they're all involved in this, of what this looks like, how it's really going to take place. Now, I was in a pawn shop yesterday, and guess what they had there? A currency counter. Yeah, where you count currency. So I really got down and looked at this thing, and I went, oh, you know what that thing won't count? What it will not count? The big Iraqi dinar notes. They're too big for the counter. So they have to have, and this is where the term specialty counters, because they have to be able to accept the larger notes that are not native species to the United States of America. And these machines, if you've done your own homework investigation, because like I have, some of them automatically detect counterfeit bills as it's counting them. So basically, the machines, you just program everything in there. Okay, I'm doing 50,000 Iraqi dinar notes. Now I'm doing 25,000 Iraqi dinar notes. That's what it looks like. So when they talk about the specialty machines, that's what that looks like. So what is an RV center really going to look like? Exterior and interior. Because exterior, there's a line of people outside and they're all sitting on a shit ton of currency. Well, as we all know, there are trolls, moles, liars, grifters, scammers, con men, con women, all in this community. We already know that just from over on Mark Z when I shut down Scam Anderson. Well, what if the 99th person in line, the only reason they're there is to go rob the place? They got currency. They got notified just like everybody else, but they know where the big money's at. Security, folks. These are questions you have to ask yourself. So when all these social media hosts start throwing all this stuff at you, look at it at that level. Because remember, my mind works completely different from yours. Everything I do, I'm thinking like a criminal. Sadly. I go to a restaurant, I'm thinking like a criminal. I'm looking around, see what's around me. Who's there? Who's a threat? Who's not? Where am I going to sit? Am I going to sit in the middle? Am I going to sit my back to the door? Am I going to sit on the other side? Am I going to face the door with nobody at my back? What kind of cameras are here? What kind of security? What kind of personnel? How vulnerable is the place? How could I get in this place? My mind checks all this shit, which is really crazy and odd. And sometimes I look at these places and go, they have zero security here. Although it looks like they have a lot. So that's my take on redemption centers, what they look like and how they would operate and where they would operate at. So take that how you want, utilize it. Laverne Charles Fast Horse is the same chief we are speaking about. Correct. Yeah. LC Fast Horse. And to use chief in parentheses as like he's really not a chief. It's just something he has honorarily bestowed upon himself. I don't know. I definitely would like to talk to you about some of the things that have been passed on to me that are questionable activities. Put it like that. LA, Isla del Encanto, Puerto Rico, PR. I don't know. Are you in Puerto Rico? I'm getting ready to come. And I will be all over the island. I definitely will be in San Juan, Ponce, Fajardo. I'll definitely be in Camay, where Mark is. So those are my main destinations, but I will explore the entire island. Definitely want to go up into the mountains, waterfalls, do a lot what I didn't get to last time. I was just going to go for a week. I was like, tack on that extra 3 days, bro. You're gonna need it. So what I plan to do is once I arrive there on the 5th, I arrive in the evening. So I'll just take it easy that first day, that first evening. Go watch the sunset, have a nice dinner. And then that Thursday and Friday, take care of my business in San Juan and Ponce. Probably go hang out with Mark over that weekend. Maybe not. Finish up my business on the 10th and the 11th, that Monday and Tuesday. And spend the rest of the week just enjoying the island. That's my plan. I'm actually establishing a business there. Mark said he wanted to be a part of that. So we'll see. I plan on moving to Puerto Rico. I'm trying to get the hell out of Houston. All right. I feel for my uncle with good intentions and knowing that he went through a lot. We Lakota are surviving the best that we can. Well, it's a travesty what has happened to the indigenous Native Americans. But, God bless all the tribes. I totally understand how the Indians got swindled out of everything. And don't take this the wrong way. But since I've really paid more attention to my heritage, the more I investigate, it seems to me the dumber these freaking Indians are. Why would you have a court system that's operated by the British accredited registry, the bar? Why would you incorporate your tribe if you're sovereign? Why would you use foreign currency if you're sovereign? Create your own currency. Generate your own coinage. Imagine if you had a casino that really operated in gold and silver and not casino chips and fiat money. Imagine going to a table and it's silver dollars and gold pieces. Legitimate currency. It's going to retain its value. but they sold out. They want to be governed, and they're being governed. And all the tribes are like that. It is a travesty. And I get it. He has been through a lot. He has been through a lot. He's been incarcerated for a lot. And sometimes when people are incarcerated for such a long period of time, especially as, he's been incarcerated almost his entire adult life, that it mentally fucks people up. And I've been incarcerated with a lot of people like that. But yeah, we need to change that. We need to, stand up for the indigenous. And it's really sad because the Seminoles, which is my cousin tribe, the Muskogees, are extremely successful. They bought the entire Hard Rock Cafe franchise and Hard Rock casinos, resorts, all that. That Seminole tribe owns that. They made some wise decisions. I trip out on my tribe. I'm like, why aren't you doing this? They own. Recently in the last 2 weeks, it started getting a lot of coverage, and I don't know why, that the entire eastern half of the state of Oklahoma basically was given back to the tribes. So everything west of Tulsa is Oklahoma. Anything east of Tulsa, and this is like right down the middle of Tulsa, belongs to the civilized tribes. And for some reason, it just now made news, but it's a very, I'm not going to say very old case, but it's McGirt versus Oklahoma, which is a sex offender case about Gypsy McGirt, whether or not he committed these alleged sexual assaults on tribal land or state of Oklahoma land. And it's a determination by the United States Supreme Court that, in fact, Gypsy McGirt committed these offenses on tribal land due to the state of Oklahoma not ratifying it, and the land was ceded back to the Native Americans. Not only did my tribe, the Muskogee Creek, get 1 million plus acres, but the Cherokee and the other associated tribes in Oklahoma also got additional land. So what did my chief, David Hill, do? Once he acquired all this newly acquired territory, oil wells, mineral rights, property taxes, nothing. He's like, y'all can have all those royalties. We don't want them. We don't need them. We like living over here in desperation. Y'all keep it, white man. That's exactly what he did. Didn't change a thing. Tulsa's still run by the Tulsa City Police and, city administration. They don't get any tax revenues from the land that they own. They didn't go in there and seize any property like they should. That's what happens. And I was kind of waiting on the RV to happen. And because I don't have enough blood quantum in me, I cannot even run for political office for my tribe. Now, how much bullshit is that? I'm a citizen. I can show you my lineage all the way back to Alexander McGilvery, all the way back to Chief Red Cloud. Back to a Muskogee Creek who only had one name. I can't even pronounce it. There were no dual names. He was just one name. Albert, I'm from Baton Rouge, but live in Gonzales now. Moved to the smaller town because of all the political strife going on. Yeah, I can see that. My tribe knows nothing of the RV, LTBB in Michigan. And in 2005, I was the chief of Burt Lake Band. Okay. Hey, Diana, welcome to the show. You're welcome. What about Chief Pontiac pushing the Moore thing? True. I don't know anything about I don't even know who Chief Pontiac is. So I don't know. I've got my opinion on the Moors thing. I'd like to dive into it a little bit more, but I did my 23andMe ancestry, but I protected myself because there's a process you can use. It's in my new trust book once I finish writing it, where you capture your own DNA, and there's an affidavit behind it, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, I'm part Moorish, scintilla, but yeah. All right, looks like you may have gotten duped, Floyd, with the chief. So many imposters out there. Yeah, and I've been duped by others as well. Absolutely. Kayla Nicole Fitz came on my show and did this big pleading, sob story about her fiance and their 3 children who were taken from them and put in CPS and wah this, wah that. Well, come to find out, the children were being abused, and that Kayla is never getting those children back. They belong to somebody else now who has been giving full custody. And I didn't find this out until that person contacted me. And the story is that the children were terrified of Kayla and her fiance. I don't remember his name. Cody, that was his name. And, I was like, oh, because I'm on here kind of supporting Kayla, going, hey, yeah, let's get your children back. And the whole community was, diving in, trying to help her get her kids back because of her story. And you come to find out it was 100% patently false. So I offered her a chance, hey, come on the show, come clean. No, you already know my story. Okay, well, I got you. Sorry, you're never getting your kids back. That's what I was told. So good luck with that, which sucks, but it is what it is. So when this person contacted me and, we interacted together, I told her, I said, hey, for the children, if you want, I'll make a video for them or, whatever I can do to assuage their fears and, any animosity or whatever that they have, so they can go live a happy life. They're not worried about, somebody coming, taking them out of this, home that they've found remedy and relief. So yeah, I've been duped, and it comes with the territory. Marks wanted to have a few guests on and run them by me first, and they didn't go on the show. Yeah, so it is what it is. People can, believe me, I was locked up with rocket scientists and SEAL Team 6 members when I was in prison. When you're in prison, you can be anything you want to be. I guess you just tell the right story and, somebody will believe you. And then you can be what you want to be. Gigi used to live in Fort Worth. LaSalle Corrections just did a $7 million lawsuit for killing a young guy from Houston, Texas. Oh, yeah. Not surprising. They kill people in there deliberately. They will handcuff you behind your back and kick you down some 3 flights of metal stairs and say, you tripped. Absolutely. I would like to move, but I'm not sure where to move. Well, that's something that you should be investigating right now. First, you need to say, okay, what kind of weather do I want? Do I want to live where it fluctuates between, like Houston, where it can be 104 in the summer and 19 in the winter? That's a big gap. And on certain days, there might be a 30-degree change in temperature. It might be 78 today and then drop down to 38 overnight, like that. Or do you want to be in something that is less hostile, like Costa Rica, where the medium temperature changes about 3 degrees? So it's always warm, always, perfect climate. Or do you want to go somewhere else where it's much colder? You like cold weather. You like snow. You like ice. You like sleet. You like being burdened in your house for days at a time. Or you might like it where it's really hot and tropical and might like beach settings. So this is something you should investigate now. Where do I want to live? Go, look at that climate first. Do you want to live on the beach? Do you want to live on a ranch? Do you want to live on in the jungle? Do you want to live on a mountain? Do you want to live in a valley? Choice is yours. So yeah, start looking now where you want to live. You don't necessarily have to live in the United States. There's U.S. territories, or I'm sure there's going to be a couple more U.S. territories here shortly. So yeah, there you go. I qualify for 3 tribes due to my bloodlines. I just choose the LTBB because of hunting and fishing rights. And again, here we go with the hunting and fishing rights. Why do we need to get a license to hunt and fish? That's just fines, fees, and taxes by the state because it's a parasitic for-profit entity that is continuously bankrupt. Not only financially, morally. Amen to the governor being gone. Yeah, I mean, he is not popular at all. I don't know if you follow him over on Facebook, Thomas, but he continuously posts one big boastful lie after another. And I call him out every chance I get, every time I see it. And I know it's not him personally posting, somebody on his staff. But yeah, definitely. What's her name? You're talking about Kayla Nicole Fitz, Fitts. You have to go back to my high noon show way back a couple of years ago. This is Buffy's channel, YouTube Occult Examiner. You're more than welcome, Buffy. I don't know the Bolivar rate. That's not what we were here to discuss. I discussed the political, economic circumstances in Venezuela, in Bolivar. In Venezuela, and as well as the United States, what will occur tomorrow, Friday. So just go to the very beginning of the video and watch the first, I think, 5 or 6 videos. Love Mark's heart. A lot of good-hearted people from North Carolina. Yeah, I've been to North Carolina, Raleigh. In fact, I used to work for a company there called Smart House. Beautiful, beautiful country. Very, very, very gracious, hospitable people. We ate the North Carolina barbecue, where y'all use the mustard-based barbecue sauce. And being a Texas barbecue boy, that was a shock to my system because I had never had North Carolina barbecue before until then, and it was unexpected. I didn't, I love barbecue. I'm just used to good old Texas hard smoked barbecue. You're living on the edge, and I need hope like an IV, but it's up to me to be responsible and evaluate the facts when Mark or anyone else puts out their opinion. All right, Ellen? Yep. I'm watching for the world news for anything else. Yep. Clifford, the big red dog. How you doing? Bruce says on Tuesday, it's the next 2 days. Thursday, it's the weekend. Yeah, I know. It's nuts. GG, I believe what I dreamed, to make a long story short, because the dream was pretty long, but in the dream, when the RV happened, it caught everyone off guard. I dreamt it twice. Yeah. And just like Kuwait, and that's what everybody's been saying. It's when it happens, it's gonna hit us. Russ Sage, sorry for the spoke, had to go through 55 gallons. They break your nips and now they could roll, right? Absolutely. Hello, Steph. Last 4 years have been maybe this week. Nope, this weekend, maybe next week, get towards the end of the month. It's the first of the month and I still watch. Yeah, it's I just can't imagine. I used to entertain people sending me stuff all day, every day. Go read this, go watch that, and I just stop, please. Don't do that to me no more. You more than welcome to ride the amusement ride. I'm not amused. You might be. BC, Canada. Edie's 47. What do you think about the Canada becoming part of the United States of America? I'd like to hear your opinion on that. I think it's a fantastic idea. I don't think we should stop there. I think we should go in and take over Mexico. I think we should also adopt Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and Cuba. Absolutely. I think they should make the islands territories like Puerto Rico. I think they should set up a structure with timelines for each of those territories to eventually become states. But they have to meet certain milestones to become a state of the union. Obviously, Puerto Rico should be put on the fast track. However, the Puerto Rican government, the territorial government, is corrupt, fraudulent, piece of shit, and they got to go too. So that would have to be restructured. But that's just, my own opinion. And I was going to get into this, and I didn't. So let me dive over here to it, and I was going to explain this to you. This is what I think is what's on the horizon. This is what Trump ideally would love to do. Full spectrum dominance. Full spectrum dominance, also known as full spectrum superiority, is a military concept where a military entity achieves control over all dimensions of the battle space, including terrestrial, aerial, maritime, subterranean, extraterrestrial, psychological, and bio or cyber technological warfare. It includes the physical battle space, air, surface, and subsurface, as well as the electromagnetic spectrum and information space. The U.S. Department of Defense defines full spectrum superiority, FSS, as the cumulative effect of dominance in the air, land, maritime, and space domains in the information environment, which includes cyberspace, enabling the conduct of joint operations. This concept has been applied in various conflicts, such as the War on Terror, where secondary fronts in regions like the Philippines, Sub-Saharan Africa, Georgia, and the Caspian Sea Basin were used to test and develop full spectrum dominance strategies. So we can go over here to the Wikipedia and dive a little deeper into it. And let me stop sharing to make sure that I'm sharing. And here is the Wikipedia, which basically parrots the same information that I did earlier. But as early as April 2001, the United States Department of Defense defined full spectrum superiority. Basically, we already went through that. Criticism. Critics of U.S. imperialism have referred to the term as proof of the ambitions of policymakers in the U.S. and their alleged desire for total control. Harold Pinter referred to the term in the 2005 Nobel Prize in Literature acceptance speech, Art, Truth, and Politics. I have said earlier that the United States is now totally frank about putting its cards on the table. That is the case. Its official declared policy is now defined as full spectrum dominance, and that is not my term, it is theirs. Full spectrum dominance means control of land, sea, air, and space, and all attendant resources. So it's real short, real simple, real sweet. For those of you who don't know, that phraseology, that term became publicly bandied about during the George Bush administration. And Thomas, There you go. You're into real estate up there. Yep. Someday, Steph Kohler, after the RV, I will put 50% on XRP. I can't give you a financial advice, legal advice, or medical advice, and I don't and won't. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, and XRP may be unaffordable by the time the RV happens. We'll have to see, because I think everybody's on the same page as far as crypto and going back to asset-backed currency. GG, in my dream, I saw all the podcasters who had scheduled to broadcast but were no shows because they were all at the bank. No one was available to broadcast nothing. They were too excited. Right? Beanie, I subscribe to all the so-called gurus. I do my own research, keep buying currency. My cousin is a lawyer. One of the lawyer friends is going to hook me up with protecting my investment. Be careful, Beanie 777. And I say this because from experience, and remember, I'm telling you this under oath. So it's the God honest truth. I will take you to the source. A gentleman in, I want to say, Utah, his parents did everything correctly. They went to an attorney. They set up a trust. The beneficiaries were the two siblings, a boy and a girl. I guess the executor was the attorney. Well, the parents are getting up in age, but failed to kick over. So the daughter sibling decided she wanted access to mom and dad's money. So she got the attorney to infiltrate the trust and began to liquidate it. And she began making real estate investments unwisely and lost her ass. So when the male sibling, the brother, tried to bring everything up at attention, he got railroaded and got put in jail. And the story ended up a lot worse than what I've just described. But I'm telling you, folks, okay, you're going to run into lawyers, attorneys, financial advisors, wealth managers, anybody, if they know you've got a shit ton of money, be careful. Lawyers are the worst. Do your own homework. Do as much of this as you can with your own research and knowledge. Try not to rely on other people, because they will, they will take your money. And some of them just don't care. They're desperate as well. And you just never know what people's real, true motivations are. They may be hanging on by a string, okay? They're just faking it till they make it. And then, boom, here you come right in here, and they're like, oh, shit, I'm going to make it now. All I got to do is just fake it. And if they take the bait, I'm gone. So be careful. In my visions, I saw 347 more than once of the IQD. God, I hope so. Well, I'd take $1. I ain't tripping. Boy, I know a lot of people, but no one that I know I would trust financially to be a part of my trust. Can you put an attorney on? Oh, I just addressed that. Seems like I'm one step ahead of you guys. And I tell you this from experience. It depends on the attorney, how well you know the attorney, how trustworthy the attorney is, what their track record looks like. Because basically what you're doing is kind of appointing them fiduciary, as the executor, and you're the beneficiary. And this is one of the most difficult things it is about a trust, is finding somebody that is not only trustworthy to be your executor, but you pick up the phone, you call them, say, hey, I need you to transfer $100,000 over to ABC Bank. Right? Yeah. Okay. 3 o'clock, gotcha. Thanks, bye. And 3 o'clock, it should already happened. And if you can't make that happen, you chose the wrong person to be your executor. And you may need to choose more than one, and you can. That's up to you. How you want to run your trust, how you want to run your business, because that's all you're doing, running a business. You're layering yourself, you're insulating yourself from public scrutiny. So by the time somebody traces this stuff back one way or another, they keep running into dead ends and it's at a loss. That's why it's been so difficult for Congress to investigate the Bidens because of shell companies. I used to be a drywaller for 18 years, been in many job sites. Yep, I did some drywall back in the day. Right. Oh, I'm not worried about growing my channel. Listen, I mean, you're going to find this, crazy to say this, but I remember when I had 8 people subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I was stunned that 8 people would actually want to hear me talk. And then it kept growing, and I remember it hit 100, and I was like, oh my God. People. Then it hit 1,000. I was like, oh my God, can you believe it? 1,000 people. This is nuts. And it's just been this wild ass journey. And I met a bunch of, nice people, good people, bad people, indifferent people. It's been all over the board, but it's been quite the adventure. I've had a lot of fun. So yeah. Heaven forbid YouTube buy you a cup of coffee, Floyd. Yeah. I actually got to go buy coffee. There are super chats for this. Yes, I actually got some super chats in my last video. I got 4 of them. One guy repeated. He paid me twice. I couldn't believe that. I was like just stunned. I'm not in it for the money. Gigi sounds like a great dream, right? Anyone know why Comex is down? Tim, welcome to the show. No, I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about that. The bar is a fraud. Yeah, absolutely. Whoops, went too far. Yeah, don't know about that. What is your deep dive on redemption? I just gave you my deep dive on the redemption centers, what I think they look like, what they're going to be. My dad was from Atoka, Oklahoma, and Choctaw. Yep, one of our neighboring tribes. I mean, I never looked in the Indian connection. All you have to do is contact the citizenship board for the Choctaw Nation. I don't know if you have relatives on the Dawes roll, DAWES. That's the easiest way to establish your lineage to get citizenship, and you should. Your health care is dramatically different if you're a Native American Indian. Absolutely. Chief Pontiac. No, I don't know who Chief Pontiac is. I love Boudin too. I don't like all Boudin. Some Boudin I like, some I don't. And then Floyd, it's none of their business how much currency you have. Yeah. GG, you know what, Floyd? They closed down some of the Sam's wholesale, Walgreens. Those could be redemption centers. Possibly. Again, there's a criminal act. You guys may have never heard of it before, called jugging, Jugging, jugging. And that's when criminals sit out in front of financial institutions and observe who goes up to an ATM or who actually walks in the bank and then walks out the bank with an envelope, or like I did one time. I took a backpack in to get some paperwork notarized, and it happened to be my notary bag. walked out, went somewhere, stopped before I got home. I had somebody with me. They were slow getting out of the car. So when I locked it, it didn't lock. The juggers followed me, drove by. And then when we got out and went in, they came back, got out, went right to the back seat where I put the backpack. And the only reason I know this is because I contacted one of the establishments that was in the strip center, and they looked back at their security footage and go, oh, yeah, we see them exactly what they did. They went right to your back driver's door, opened it up, pulled the backpack out. They thought they had a come up, thought they had a bag full of money. All I got was a notarized document, a bunch of pins, an embosser, a stamp, a bunch of shit that said Floyd Pleasant Arvin the fourth on it. Yeah. DIY Warrior Labs. Okay, that's an interesting title. Greetings and blessing, Floyd. How to know if the Zims are real and authentic. Thank you. Generally, you can use a UV light, a black light, and shine on it, and it'll have, phosphorescent or fluorescent imaging. If you want to know what that looks like, it's real easy. Just go on eBay, put in Zimbabwe dollars, and you're going to see some of these sites, and they will show you exactly what a bill looks like under a UV light. For some of them, that'll be part of their presentation of their images for that particular product to show you that, hey, look, it's legitimate. It's not a counterfeit. So that's the easiest way. If you want to just pick up a light yourself, you can get them on Amazon all day long. They're pretty cheap. I was born in Dallas. All 5 million of us in Dallas are not all bad. Why love us all in a group? Got it bad. I've had Clifford. I've not had just a bad experience in Dallas. I've had a lot. I mean, every time I go up there, it's never good. I never come back to Houston going, oh man, I had so much fun in Dallas. I mean, when I used to go to Austin, back in the 80s or 70s and 80s, and 6th Street, it was like, man, I had a blast in Austin. Never say that about Dallas. Never. Sadly, my daughter lives in Dallas. She goes to SMU. Her mom lives in Plano. I've lived in Carrollton, Plano. I have a friend lives in Dallas. Yeah. I would love it to be a little bit more hospitable, but it just never has been. Not for me anyway. Kind of like me and horses. For some reason, horses don't like me. I guess I used to shoot horses in a past life or something. I haven't went to the bank yet. There's so much confusion. You have De La Rue machines, Ape Sitter. There are different manufacturers for currency counters, not just De La Rue. De La Rue also makes currency. If you have not gone over there to see De La Rue currency, go to their website, De La Rue. Here it is. It's right there, spelled right there, DELARU, and look at their currency. And they have a bunch of different styles with different levels of anti-counterfeit measures. So you can see the state-of-the-art technology for what currency on the horizon would look like when it comes out. And they can do some awesome things with this stuff now. That's why people they're like, oh yeah, the dollar bills we have now, they're gold back because they got this little gold ink on them. And I'm like, no, those aren't going to be the new bills. New bills are going to be extremely more durable. If you've played around with some polymer notes, then you know. Ape Sitter, my Chase Bank, said that the so-called De La Rue machines are old school and they don't have them anymore. Right. They've had to upgrade their machines to deal with international currency. Most banks here in the States, they just deal with dollars, and dollars are standardized in their dimensions. But when you get into foreign currency, they're all over the place. Some of them are tiny, tiny notes. I've got some that are about that big, real small. I don't even know how they, count that, but they do. Some of them, I don't even know what country they are because they're some foreign language. I don't even know how to decipher it. I don't even know what language to go look for to decipher whether or not this bill is. I've looked for them. I was like, yeah, I got one bill. How much time am I going to invest going to see what this bill is before I even find out what it potentially might be valued at? So, time and money. So I just abandoned it and say, I'll just take it in and let these folks deal with it. If it's in the first basket, it's in the first basket. If not, is what it is. I'll walk out with a handful of other currency as well, possibly military base. There's what's that going to look like? Is your car going to get searched? Are you going to get strip searched to go in and do your redemption? Are you going to be able to take your spouse, sibling, mother, father, relative, friend, attorney, wealth manager? Nobody knows. I must have a ton of comments on here that I'm not even close to yet. What if they have it at the GRB Convention Center or ERG, Floyd? The George R. Brown Convention Center is the footprint for that facility, which is in East Downtown Houston. The first floor is the convention center space, basically slab with 4 sections, A through E. The second floor is the ballrooms as well. The big ballrooms, and then the third floor as well, which has food service, more ballrooms, auditorium, house audio visual. And then, of course, on the first floor, they have the salt grass and what's at the other end? Papacitos. And they actually have Starbucks there too. But what most people don't know is they have a Houston Police Department substation in the George R. Brown. I didn't know that till I got rear-ended over in East Downtown. And they called me and go, like, you need to come to this address, the substation. And I was like, well, where's it at? It's in the George R. Brown. I go, there's no substation in the George R. Brown. I work there all the time. Little did I know. NRG. You have NRG Arena, NRG Stadium, the convention space. Those are possibilities, but again, you're back to security. What is your security going to look like? Who's it going to be? Which department, bureau, agency, or is it going to be military? Nobody knows. I would think those 2 facilities would be too big. Like I said, the perfect facility was right down the street. A multi-story Wells Fargo building they just remodeled like 5 years ago. And Wells Fargo moved out. They moved right down here to a strip center. And then they leveled the whole building. They took it down to the dirt. I mean, they took out the foundation. And it was right across the street from the FBI building here in Houston, Texas. I mean, literally, you walk out the door and there's the FBI building, just like that. Perfect spot. Vault. Dock where the armored car can back right up to and load and head right to the Federal Reserve Bank over on Allen Parkway. Perfect. Tore it down. So I don't know. That's what, yeah. I was gang stalked in the past, scary stuff. Yeah, that is gang stalking's really heinous. Yeah. The caves in Camay is beautiful. It's changed though for RV. I'm going to the island of Enchantment in Puerto Rico. Okay. Yeah, I want to see all that. Government in Puerto Rico took 50 from my grandma and became a widow, 10 kids. I'm searching, right? Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Chief Billy bought that on behalf of the Seminoles, and then they kicked him out and screwed him. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. That's a wicked business. Local Phoenix PD called the FBI to my house, who told me that phrase, gang stalked, and I didn't realize even my group was unknown to me, which FBI said is a very dangerous situation, right? CCC 48, I would like to hear more on the business. Susan Savannah just tuned in. Has the value of the Venezuelan bar been mentioned? I don't know the value. I just went through the whole geopolitics of what's going on in Venezuela because the outcome is either going to be in our favor or going to prolong the Venezuelan Bolivar from doing anything, just in my opinion. You're more than welcome to review everything I did in this video and make your own determination. Don't have to listen to Fearless Floyd. During 2005, during tribal council meeting, I said the tribes of the nations will save the USA when China call in its marker, how the lands were held in trust. Right, but they've, they turned themselves into corporations, so they've given away their sovereignty. That's a whole thing. A whole thing. This was supposed to be like an hour video. Again, I'm going on 3 hours as usual. I'm currently doing readings from the Smithsonian paper from the 1930s, mounds and caves that were flooded out of East Tennessee by TVA. Ancient primitive artifacts turned out also to have giant bones. Absolutely. The #1, the world's greatest repository of ancient artifacts, UPAs, out of place artifacts, and giant sarcophaguses, as in a giant being, and giant skeletons. Absolutely, are all in the Smithsonian Institution. And if you have not watched my video that I did on, I'm going to say his name's James Smithson, but I think it's Thomas Smithson, because most people don't know that Thomas Smithson, who was a bastard child of European royalty, who established himself as a researcher, basically a chemist, made his fortune, had no children, no heirs, and bequeathed to his nephew to donate his estate, his fortune, to the United States of America, a country he had never set foot in, to establish the Smithsonian Institution. Absolutely. Go do your homework. Go do your research. So, yeah. The Smithsonian Institution, although it has the aura of some grandiosity of, hey, this is your history, it's really a suppressive institution who has sequestered our own history from us. Absolutely. They're one of the worst. He's the one that goes on Dr. Kia Pruitt. I don't watch other people. Mark's the only one I watch. And I watch him for the world news. That's why I'm going to help my family members on the reservation. I love to help everyone the best I can. Humanitarian projects. Yeah. That's a whole nother thing. Most of you have no idea who my father was. My father's father, my grandfather, was born on the reservation in Oklahoma on the Muskogee tribe, as well as his grandfather. My father was part of the American Indian Movement, AIM, back in the 60s and 70s. When the whole massacre at Wounded Knee, Leonard Peltier, FBI kicking in people's doors. Because my father used to go to Washington, D.C. and have these big powwow meetings with all these Indian chiefs, and they'd be in full headdress regalia and buckskins, and some of them would have suits on. And of course, I had these old black and white pictures that some were Polaroids, but some was the film that my dad would take pictures of and bring home. We'd get developed, and I'd just be amazed at all these Indian chiefs, because really, you're a kid raised in the city, you don't see Indians. You don't see them on TV and movies. So now I'm looking at my dad. He's with real Indians. And I'm thinking, man, this is so cool. And he had his little badge that was an arrowhead. I said, AIM. I said, Floyd P. Tarvin III. So yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Is it worth buying land in Colorado? That's up to you, however you want to roll. I've said this, I think I said it the other day, the Elk River Ranch. Go watch that video on YouTube. It's a $60 million ranch. When you watch that video, okay, and I'm going to address this stuff in my after the RV series, after the exchange, about all this different stuff. So go watch that video on the Elk River Ranch, and it'll kind of give you a basis of what you should do. It's where you want to live, how you want to live your life. If you don't mind, like here in Houston, we only have like one wardrobe, pretty much summer. Everybody's got a coat. It's mostly hoodie weather. But, if you like getting all bundled up and you like it cold, and, I don't. I don't want to be in cold weather anymore. It's actually 41 degrees outside. It's way too cold. All right. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Why don't you send me your contact information, and I will, I'll give you a jingle when I get to PR. We'll go meet, have lunch or something. Maybe economic partner, but not a state. Western Canada wants nothing to do with the East. Yeah, I get that. Well, Houston wants nothing to do with Dallas, but guess what? We're stuck in the same state together, whether we like it or not. And I've been made aware when I was in Puerto Rico that San Juan and Ponce are kind of similar, the Houston-Dallas rivalry thing. Cuba is such a wonderful tropic vacation location. They would just get on board with you. They'd be grateful where they could get parts for their freaking cars. I think that would light up the whole island. Y'all got access to parts of your 57 Chevy, you can restore it back to new. Yeah, that would be awesome. And I think we should do that. I think Trump should do that, put that on the horizon. So I also think that, hey, while the shopping's good, let's go get Australia and New Zealand. Let's just go take them away from England. England ain't got nothing. They're over there supporting gang rapes and grooming and pedophilia. And man, do we even want to call them an ally? Because that's putting yourself like, yeah, I was thinking about visiting Epstein Island and I almost did, but I missed my flight, not because, that's Pedophilia Island and that's why I didn't go. No, I missed my flight. I would have went if I could have went, but yeah. I don't know if y'all followed that, but that is some sick ass shit. And when this whole Diddy shit gets exposed, you guys, some of you have no idea what that looks like. I've been around predators like that where, hot chicks, strippers walk in and, it's GHB City. We're knocking these hoes out. And we're going to take advantage of the situation. And they did, and they do. I didn't partake, and that's not how I want to have sex, because believe me, I used to have this 6-foot, blonde, blue-eyed, Dallas Cowboy looking stunner. Oh my God, she was beautiful. Just, she walked in a room, you went, ooh. Damn, look at that. But she liked to do GHB. I didn't. I've never liked doing GHB because if you do too much, boom, you're out. And everybody can take advantage of you because you're OD'd. And it doesn't take much. You do 2 little plastic bottle caps, boom, you're gone. You drink one, more than one, you're out. So it's my eyes, that's a dangerous drug if you cannot, monitor yourself to where you could lose control. In fact, I knew somebody who did it, went and got in a car and flipped the car and totaled it because they passed out. But yeah, she used to love doing that and having sex. And, we're right in the middle of having sex and she's what? Man, you kidding me? Passed out again? And it got to the point where the relationship wasn't even enjoyable because of that. So I abandoned that. But you're gonna hear some stories that you never want to hear. Ever. They're gonna be so horrific. What they did to children, okay? Yeah. They weren't only doing it to each other. And believe me, most every successful rapper, hip hop artist out there, they gave it up. One way or another, they gave it up. Absolutely. Floyd, what do you think about putting money in U.S. Treasury bonds and notes, guaranteed income, very little risk? What's your opinion? I'm not giving you any financial advice. This is how I'm going to answer that question. The United States is currently $35 trillion in debt, if not 36, and climbing with no way, zero ability to pay down that debt. They're also on the hook for, via the FDIC, which we know has been trying to suppress crypto because they're not a good entity. They are also under the auspices of the executive branch, the presidency. Okay? So you add on the institutional deposits for all Americans in U.S. banks, and you get another 17 trillion. So tack on 17 trillion to the 35 trillion. Now, you want to go into credit card, mortgage, and all that debt? So clearly you're over $100 trillion. Liable that the United States is on the hook for. That's why BRICS has so much momentum moving forward. They're trying to ride this Biden administration out. They're so thankful that Trump's in there because Biden's going to keep printing money, pallets and pallets and pallets of $100 bills, and go spread them out across the world, contaminating commerce, watering down the value of their ability to trade on equal value. So Russia doesn't want to trade dollars with India for some type of commodity in US dollars. That's why they went back. Hey, we'll give you gold for oil. We got real money over here. So do you want to put your money in that system? That's up to you. That's your call. Would you go put your money in an insolvent bank? Would you go invest it in a company who was in bankruptcy? Unless you knew that they were going to restructure and come out on top. But the problem is there's so much uncertainty, we don't know. And we still have what? 11 days? A little less than that. 10 days and 21 hours of Biden's lunacy. So anything can happen. I don't know. That's up to you how you want to invest your money. One thing they're not making more of, unless you're in Dubai, is land. One thing that they can only make so much of, because they can only find so much, silver and gold. It's up to you how you invest your money. You know, do you have enough? Do you need more? Because a lot of you want to run out and make more. You know, if you've never had more than $10,000 cash in your hand ever at one time, and now you're a multimillionaire and you want to go invest and make more, when you could live out the rest of your life on the interest of what you've just exchanged and valued. That's why I said a lot of people are just in this big ass hurry to go give that money away. I got to go invest it in something. Why? Why do you even need to invest it? Why do you need the movement? You may just be able to like put it in a bank and live off the interest, or put it in something that's going to continually pay back. And there's all kind of different financial avenues available to you to do whatever you want to do. I don't know what your circumstances look like. That's why I cannot kind of give you any type of guidance. I can just like, okay, throw up some parameters and, you know, let you make your own choice. I wrote the question well before you got it. I saw an aunt who died that really made out like a bandit on her. You know, 333. Rosie Posey. Boy, I'm way behind if that was 333. I'm a half hour, I'm 30 minutes behind. Do I know Melinda Hines? She has 3 plans at $50 if you want to be, yeah. You're talking about Melanie Hines. And yes, I know who Melanie Hines is. Melanie Hines is basically another Judy Byington. All Melanie Hines does is take all the information she receives from all the different RV information sources and repairs them, and then utilizes that information, that clickbait, to turn you on to her financial program, whatever the hell she does. I don't know. But again, you know, God talks to her and tells her things all the time. Take it for what you will. I think she's just, you know, utilizing that to prop up her own personal business. That's just my opinion. I think the RV will be Trump's retirement going away legacy in 28. I don't know. Carficker, she's a fraud. I guess you're talking about Melanie Hines. You know, I don't know whether she's a fraud or not. All I know is she repeats information that's already out there that you can go find, condenses it for you, and then, of course, gets into her own ninja guru financial stuff, whatever she does. North Carolina argues about barbecue amongst itself. It depends on what part of the state you're in. What you ate was not barbecue. It's an insult to our great name. Well, dang, they sure were proud of it. I know that. They could not shut up about that North Carolina barbecue. And then we all, you know, we have the KC barbecue over here that we're kind of rivals with in Texas. But if you ever get a chance to come down here to Texas and get some good old Texas barbecue, especially around the hill country, Austin, San Antonio, New Braunfels, not Lufkin. I think there is some of Lufkin. But we have excellent barbecue down here. What do you think of the yellow? I don't know anything about the yellow dragon bonds. I know they come in a box. I know they're supposed to be worth a shit ton of money if you have a legitimate box of them. Other than that, I don't know anything about them. I don't really have any. I don't even think Jeff has any. I know he's talked to me about them, and, you know, they go in one ear out the other because I think if you're out there buying Yellow Dragon bonds today with all the counterfeiting going on, that you may not be buying legitimate, genuine Yellow Dragon bonds. You may be buying fraudulent, counterfeit Yellow Dragon bonds just because of the supply and demand. Someone probably has already asked, but what is rumor? Oliver, don't know. Floyd, where we can buy the Iraqi dinar and Zimbabwe note. All right. Iraqi dinar, two of the easiest and safest places are safedinar.com. And I've used both of these. The other one is CEIFX. Now, let me give you my own personal experience with CEIFX. I usually use my trust account to purchase through there. But the last time, because I didn't want to transfer any money to that account for other reasons, I used a different credit card. But on that credit card, and don't allow this to happen to yourselves, okay? Because once you start using that credit card and you start setting up different automatic payments online through your apps, and then when that credit card expires or the number changed, it gets lost, replaced, stolen, and then you got to go through all that bullshit, okay? Well, don't let them issue from now on. Do not accept a debit or credit card that does not have your full name on it. Reason being, okay, when I attempted to make a purchase through CEIFX, Currency Exchange International, FX.com, their processing payment system will not accept a single first initial for a card. So if my card says F Tarvin, it won't accept the transaction. It has to have at least two initials for the first name. So it'd have to be an FL. I was like, well, you know, what if this is the only debit card I have that it's in my initial? How can I make a purchase with you? So I made a really big deal about this with CEIFX, contacted them, told them, you know, you just lost a sale. And of course they lost a second sale. I don't know why my Rumble just ended. That's weird. I've never had that happen before. But anyway, so there on either of those platforms, you can pretty much buy anything you want. Dinar, dong, rupiah, real, yuan, sterling, yen, whole 9 yards. What you cannot buy is the Zimbabwe dollars. Generally, I either go to my coin and currency dealer here locally, or I purchase them off eBay. There's multiple dealers out there on eBay. Rigid Banknotes, Banknote World, Gizmo Mike is another one that I purchased from. Gizmo Mike. I said Rigid Banknotes, bought from them. There's a couple others that I bought for. When you go on eBay and you're looking for currency, you have to really do your due diligence and search and dive and deep if you want the best deal. If you don't mind just like, you know, okay, I'm going to pay $200 for 100 T, by all means, knock yourself out. Find the first one, click on it, buy it now. You know, want a better deal, you're looking for 140, 135, 130, you're going to have to dig a little bit. Always, if you're purchasing off eBay, look at their reviews, look at their feedback, make sure they're legit, make sure they've got hundreds, if not thousands of transactions that are all positive. Okay. Don't buy from somebody that's got 1, 2, 3, 10, even 50 transactions. Buy from somebody that's done thousands of these on eBay, because eBay is guaranteed. If you make a purchase and you don't get what is advertised, eBay will refund your money. They will tack up the seller for selling bullshit and eventually shut them down. So that's where you can go get those two notes. Faith, and welcome to the show. Chas. Yep. Faith King, Safety Net, and eBay as well. Do not pay for anything. No one should be charging anyone for plans. She has nothing. She's from my state. I'm sure we're talking about Melanie Hines. How you doing, Clista? Ape Sitter Julian Calendar converts 1/20/25 as Easter basket. Hey, I'll go for that. What else can open up on Easter? What's easier to open up? St. Germain Trust, obviously. Beanie, one child executors are going to give me a son to her law. Set up my trust for your cousin, make sure it's legit. Okay, there you go. And by all means, when people, I got some emails to answer. People hit me up about, I can't afford a trust. Okay. And that's fine and dandy. And I'm not expecting you to, run out here and buy Ann's book or go take Ann's class or whatever. If you need a trust, there's plenty available out there online for free. All you gotta do is just go search for it, find it. You can pay, I think it's $10 for Scribed. There's a ton of them on Scribed. And all you gotta do is just, copy it and make it yours. But then you have to know how to operate in trust and what all that looks like. And with this book, and I'm not here to push the book. Actually, I don't even have the banner running. But, this book right here, it's got everything in it from A to Z, everything that you need to do to operate in trust. It's got examples, templates, instructions, all the paperwork for meetings, minutes, checkbook ledger, final will and testament, IRS EIN, banking, stocks, bonds, deeds, transfers, power of attorney, fee schedule, and much, much more. This is pretty much everything you need in this one book. Now, somebody can't afford the book. That's fine and dandy. You can go set up your own trust. It's not that difficult. I've had people take my class, take Ann's class, and in 1 week, okay, they took the class on, generally we have it on a Monday and Tuesday. Friday, they had their trust completed, all notarized, witnessed, signed, sealed, delivered, got their EIN, got their bank account set up, and Friday afternoon, what's next? You're done? Oh yeah, what's next? Okay, we've never had anybody do it in 3 or 4 days. We're going to make you the administrator in the next class because you are so good and so quick. So, you can do it. It's not that difficult. We had the same problem even closer. Cartel Princess of Mexico had 3,700 political opponents assassinated shortly after taking office. Expat 11. Okay, you're talking about the new president for Mexico, because Mexico's a narco state. It's run by the narco traffickers. Absolutely, doesn't matter who they have in the presidency. They're bought and paid for. It's just like the old Colombian regime, the Medellin cartel. You don't do what we want to do. Well, we're going to make you pay. Fill you full of lead. National Guard armories might be a good place. That's possible. But again, you're looking at logistics, how far people will have to travel with this money to go do this exchange. And then again, where is it at? And, it's easy to find a bank, not so much go, drive out to some National Guard armory. Do I think the event will go this weekend, Ellen? I have no idea. If it does, great. Doesn't, guess what? I'll be still doing the same thing, looking forward to going to Puerto Rico, doing videos. That's it. Watching from Saipan. Oh, that's awesome. Good bits to get in 3D printing those parts aftermarket for classic cars. My cousin, her husband actually uses a 3D printer to make I'm trying to think of the name for it. it's not quite hydroponics, but the grow towers that have little offshoots on it, you can grow herbs and plants and stuff like that. But the problem is they can't get the weight reduced enough to make it affordable to box and ship. So they're having design flaws. I went up there and, I tried to put in my 2 cents, but that kind of got ignored. Yeah, I know I'm not the smartest guy in the room. Hope Bondi and Cash Patel and Pam Bondi, the FBI director and Secretary of the Department of Justice, or no, the Attorney General. Yeah, I do too. I thought that once that we RV, the U.S. would be debt-free. How does that work? Who's going to explain all that to you? Because I've not heard anybody give me any type of explanation how that's going to be discharged once we RV. Trying to catch up. I don't understand what RV is. Revaluation of currencies, namely foreign currencies, but the USA is supposed to be in that basket. And we understand, I was in the same boat you were 4 years ago. Somebody's like, oh, you're doing the RV. And I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I don't have a recreational vehicle. What are you talking about? You got currency. Yeah, so what's that got to do with an RV? That kind of thing. So there you go. Concentration on investing in humanity and 100 million. Hines is clueless, right? North Carolina has the worst food ever. I don't know about all that, but that's your own opinion. Melanie says she doesn't believe in Nassar, but says she's never researched it. You can pay her to teach you how to get out of debt. Let me give you my own opinion on that. Anybody who's on social media teaching or selling anything, okay, if they're asking for some type of payment for whatever they're doing, okay, and allegedly what they're teaching you is basically how to come up. So right here for how to get out of debt. If they really knew what they were talking about, they wouldn't be selling anything. They wouldn't be on social media. They'd be living life happily ever after. They wouldn't have to do that. And I'm telling you that from somebody that's in this category, okay, that does this all the time, all day, every day, has plenty of opportunity to get out here and do what these others are doing, but don't. It's just not in my constitution, not on my conscience to do that. So they don't know, and they don't have the process to get you there. And I've gone over this. Actually, I've got a series of videos I'm getting ready to do. I already put secure party creditor, the 1099A process. Those two are in the can, ready to publish. The Treasury Vault is really good. So everyone at the funeral of Jimmy Carter looked pretty solemn. Big Mike wasn't MIA, and everybody did look solemn except two people, Trump and Obama. And the only reason Obama didn't have a dour face is because Trump was over there lighting his ass up about something, keeping me entertained. I thought, oh, that's something right there. Nutcase Productions. All right, man, I finally hit the end of the comments. Oh, thank God. I've got to go, folks. I've got things to do. I didn't realize it was 3:20. It's late, and I've been on here for this is just supposed to be an hour video, and they never are. I just go, and never stop. So, again, thank you all for being here. If you have any questions, concerns, please email me at thefearlessfloydshow@yahoo.com. Fearlessfloydshow.com is my website. Sadly, the 12 Days of Christmas specials are over. And I don't know when I'll have a next special on. I don't know if I will, till next Thanksgiving. Just have no idea. I hope you guys learned something. Hope you're a little bit more aware and will pay a little bit more attention to Venezuela and the geopolitics of what that looks like, who's on whose side, who can help who do what, and who you should be rooting for, because you should be rooting for González and all the Venezuelan people, because they want their own sovereignty. They want to be a wealthy country. They don't want the notoriety in the United States that, the best Venezuela could do was send their worst of their worst to us to infiltrate us and create chaos and, kill and rape people. That's not what they want to be known for. It seems to me that, from my own research, that they have a little bit more pride in their own culture and country. So let's see if we can all act in harmony on this endeavor, whatever that looks like. Thank you all for watching. Let me go jam up these last 6 comments. Yes, ma'am, baby cakes. You're welcome. If you're in PR, hit me up. You're welcome, Quara or Sassy. You're welcome. I enjoy doing this for you folks, and I really like the interaction. Yeah. I'm an elder on SSA. Been trying to get away from the stupid drunk husband for 10 years. Can't afford anything, including divorce. Jumping around and siphon something else. And that sucks. That really sucks when you're in a bad relationship like that. I wish there were more of me. I could help you guys, but there's just one of me, and I can only do so much for everybody. So thank you very much for watching. I didn't even run the banner, so let me get that flowing in the video. And I've got to call Mark and hammer some things out with Mark, as well as eat. And I'm going to try to get into the gym today. So everybody, thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, I have this new series. So stay tuned for that. I'll be putting out videos about different subjects and categories regarding life after exchange. So stay tuned for that. If you need some immune support, don't forget the mushroom therapy to go along with other supplements like stem cell activator that can work in harmony, help you improve yourself. These are products that I do take. And don't forget to go nominate Dr. Ed Group. If you don't know who Dr. Ed Group, go check out his website, drgroup.com. Nominate him to join RFK Jr.'s Department of Health and Human Services. Hopefully we will have an inside man. That would be nice, huh? And New Year's resolutions. And we should all be pushing for this to happen.